No, he hasn't got out of those all
I
day.
love finding out what people's Zoom bottoms are. You know, when you find out that they've got like a shirt on the top and then they've got sweatpants on the bottom.
You remember I threatened something?
Yeah.
Do you remember I threatened something about Movember, Becki? You don't want to see what's below.
We never found out this.
I would love just the idea now is hilarious of a handlebar moustache.
That's all it matters. That's all that matters. It's in your brain and you can't unthink it. That's the thing.
No, I can't.
Merry Christmas, Becki. You're welcome.
Just what I always wanted, Dan. Thank you.
Crack on.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
While everyone's smiling.
You'll be glad to know, Becki, you're not a pale ghost anymore. So it's great.
Yeah.
This is the time to get in. And get you got a nice blush on the old cheeks going.
Top quality content.
Fortunately, I've recorded all of that, so it'll go on the podcast. It's great.
Don't worry, I've recorded all that, so it'll go on the video if you want it to.
Well, I've recorded it all and I'll be reporting it to the police.
Welcome to a special pre-recorded episode of Blood and Song.
Yay!
Now, if you are watching the video stream, you will notice that our fearless DM is absent. He's doing a service to our country as a frontline key worker. So let chaos reign, as today I, Ryan Scott, shall be your GM. And I'm joined by Dan.
Hello.
Bradley.
Hi there.
Becki.
Hello.
Christine.
Oh.
And Sean.
Hello.
Because today is the 28th of December, wink, wink.
Yes, it is definitely.
Yep.
How was everyone's Christmas?
I'm hoping.
The one Christmas that we just had.
Wyatt?
Yeah.
Yes,
the
yes,
Christmas-
the Christmas
Oh,
that
it
we
was
just had. Yeah.
it was good.
We have all also adorned ourselves with some wonderful, wonderful Christmas gear. I've gone for the most Christmas of all things, a T-Rex shooting lightning out of its mouth with a Santa hat on. So it's Christmassy.
Truly the spirit of Christmas, yes.
Some absolutely amazing, we really pulled it out of the Santa sack to be able to decorate ourselves up today. Sean in a tiara, which I think is fantastic.
No reason for it. Don't know. My fiance came and put it on my head because I said, "Have you got a Santa hat?" And she went, "No, but we've got this." So that will have to do.
Well, do you know what? If you own a crown, I feel at some point you should wear it.
Yeah, that's true.
Please notice that
Her
it was
crown.
his fiance's crown. Yeah,
Yes,
so-
I'm just.
Lovely.
She's lending me her crown. I graciously accept it.
What a
for her.
queen.
Is this because we berated you on the hair last session? Is that?
I
is
just
that
need
the
to
full
cover
reason?
it.
You just need
I'm
to
just
cover
covering
it
it up. Yeah. Hey, listen. Speaking of covering up, why have you covered yourself up with a non-Christmassy jumper that
is
looks the
Christmassy.
closest to Christmas? It just looks like a Topshop jumper. Where? Show me the Christmas elements to that jumper.
There's Christmas trees here.
They're not
They're
Christmas.
so tiny.
This is the way Brad celebrates. It's the way androids celebrate Christmas, right?
Androgynous Christmas. Non-partisan
Very nice.
Christmas.
Is that holly or mistletoe around your headphones there, Becki?
Oh, this is a little bit of fake holly around my headphones here, left over from my decorating, which was sporadic this year is probably the best way to put it. I was sort of, you kind of get to the beginning of December and you're like, brilliant, it's the end of the year, it's finally the end of 2020, I'm going to do all the decorations right now. And then you realise that actually that's an awful lot of effort compared to what you've been doing for the last month of lockdown, and you're like, okay, I'm going to get
Well, I mean, obviously today
I'll just put it
being,
on my head and give up.
Today being the 28th, remember, obviously all
You've
the
done it for a whole month.
everything's
yeah.
already gone
Absolutely,
up. And everything
quite
like that,
right, yes.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
very relaxing. We all relaxed over Christmas and it was very relaxing.
Christine, what's on your Christmas jumper?
I've gone for a Christmas movie theme one, and it just basically says, "Oh, there we go, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal."
Ah, that's a good
You
one.
know,
That is
it's
a good one.
it's a
Good.
classic.
Yep.
I've seen quite a few people with them, but I don't care. I don't. I follow a crowd every now and again. But I've
the first
also
one.
Just because their
First one
comment
I've seen.
doesn't detract from the fact that it's an
It's
awesome
true.
jumper.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
true. And I've managed to somehow, underneath my massive headphones, get in some Christmas tree earrings. But my
Nice.
ears
Very
are
nice.
slightly squished, but it's worth it.
It's worth the pain is
Hey,
worth it.
Pain's worth it. That's what I say every time I put on a corset. And Dan, those ears of
girdle.
yours,
It's
and
called a
and
girdle,
also,
Ryan.
oh yeah, sorry, a girdle. Yes, a girdle. God, I almost gave myself away. Dan, you've not just decorated your mic as well.
Yeah,
as
I've
well
gone
as,
for subtle.
yeah.
Subtle is in our house. Having a 4-year-old means everything is just underplayed a lot.
Hmm.
I also have a jumper though, just so you know.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Big one. So, just the last question I had before we jump in: how was everybody's cruciferous vegetables in your Christmas dinner plate?
Vegetarian, so they were around.
We cooked them with some pancetta and walnuts, and it was delicious.
Yeah, we had a few
now I've got to do that.
honey roasted vegetables in there. They were very, very nice.
Yep. Something kale, something.
Perfect.
You can just edit. You can edit
Sprouts,
something in there and
sprouts.
post, right?
Sprouts and kale.
Sprouts and kale.
Yeah. See, controversially, as a member of Team Kale, I don't eat sprouts. I know.
They're difficult to love.
Your
but
card
they're
is
worth it.
rescinded, Becky.
No,
I'm afraid.
I'm a traitor to the cause of cruciferous vegetables.
The anti-kale league came calling over Christmas.
All right, if we are all ready, let's get into this very special episode of Blood and Song. So today we are going to do something a little different. We don't actually have a D&D game to play. We're not going to be rolling dice, and we're not even going to be in Erionwel, despite what the title card has said. Instead, we're going to be in the fictional land of America, doing a one-shot called Executive Decision by Greg Stolze. So to let you guys know what Executive Decision is a political thriller where one person will assume the role as commander-in-chief, the president themselves. A crisis will then take place, and it's up to the president to decide what action to take. Along the way, they'll be guided by the cabinet, who are the rest of our lovely players or anybody else around the table, who each have a position and, much like real politics, have an agenda that they want to push. This game works on a real-time clock. It takes about 60 minutes per crisis. Every so often during the 60 minutes, I'll be adding curveballs to the decisions to try and throw people off their game. And it's up to the president to make the decision. This game is played in a points-based system regularly, and every crisis and each agenda has an up, down, or nil effect against it. We won't particularly be playing with points in this game today. I'm sort of maybe simplified it. I simplified it even more. I turned it into a drinking game with a bunch of Australians who complain about too many menus in video games. So if you do have a drink tonight, have a sip along. If you're interested in finding out about what those drinking rules are, let us know on the socials at Blood and Song, and we'll be able to share that information with you. So to begin with, we will need to select a president. And the only way to do this is with an electoral college-based vote of the people around the table. So I would like
popular vote. Can we not win by the popular vote? Even though that might be more than... Okay, fine.
No, not until that rule's overturned. But, there are a few states...
Do you want to recount?
Of course you can. If it's within
do we have mail-in voting?
No, because that's a fraud, and we all know that.
Yeah, of course.
But also, I've just got my nan who's dead to come and vote anyway in this
Perfect.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And we're waiting on anyone called Georgia to cast their final vote as well. Luckily, none of us have that in our name, so we should be here. Sweet. So I would like to know who is going to be running for president.
I would like to run as president. My name is Dinglo Clangers.
Excellent. Are they running unopposed? Is anyone else putting themselves forward for presidency?
No.
So just to give everyone a real refresher of a cheat sheet. So if you are the president, you need to ask questions, try and stoke conversation between everybody. Ultimately, your decision is final, and you will be deciding against the 5 choices that you get. If you're not the president and you're a cabinet minister or missinter, I don't know if there's a film version of it. I think it's still minister, isn't it? So pick your role and try and push your agenda in the most subtle or non-subtle way possible, and try and convince the president that your agenda is the best and why for this country. So is everybody ready to begin? Let me just get a timer up.
This is wonderful. So most of us, or all of us...
I know who's in my office, don't I? Like these people. I know who they are. And what their job is.
When we will get to that momentarily.
Right, hey.
So I just need a stopwatch sponsored by Google. Lovely. Okay, if everybody's ready to begin, a very special Christmas edition of Executive Decision. As you awake, Mr. President, on the 2nd of December, and the remote speakers that placed around the White House to play sleigh bells that get slowly louder and louder to wake you up and get you very much in the festive mood. You get dressed. What are you wearing?
Oh, I'm wearing my reindeer onesie that I wake up in. And it has on its antlers little jingle bells so that when I move around the office, people know where I am at all times.
Perfect. So as you fling the doors of the East Wing open, your trusty advisor appears. Sir, we have a situation. At approximately 3 a.m. this morning, the 75-foot, 11-ton Norway spruce Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center has disappeared.
What, somebody stole it?
So you would know, Mr. President, that today, the 2nd of December, is Tree Lighting Day at Rockefeller, which is a nationwide broadcast of musical acts, celebrity, sport interviews. People attend from all around the world, and we have ageless celebrity to turn on the lights, Mario Lopez.
Oh my God, and we've got no tree for Mario Lopez to light. Are you serious right now?
I'm very, very serious. So the tree itself, as an attraction, this is absolutely true. I absolutely Googled this. Attracts around 125 million tourists a year. So something will need to be done. National and international news outlets have started covering it. People are talking and throwing conspiracies on social media like crazy. You yourself, Mr. President, have been seen attending these lighting ceremonies over the years. And as it's an election year, you don't want to do anything that could affect your political career. And most importantly, we don't want to upset national treasure Mario Lopez. Your cabinet team is waiting for you in the Oval Office.
Well, let's go.
As you stride into the Oval Office, I would like the rest of the table to introduce themselves and what your position is inside of this cabinet and what your name is as well, please.
Mr. President, I'll go first. I'm Brian Cox. I'm sometimes mistaken. I'm the vice president, as you well know. I'm sometimes mistaken for the actor Brian Cox because we come from the same place in Scotland, and sometimes we sound the same.
You sound very similar, yeah. Oh my God.
I'm not him. He is probably best known for his role as Stryker in X2, X-Men United, and more recently as Logan in HBO smash hit Succession.
Not while I'm drinking, sir, please.
but I'm not he. I am never mistaken for the astrophysicist Brian Cox. That is just absurd. I am the vice president.
Thank you very much. Who would like to go next?
I am the Secretary for the Interior, which is something which I don't know if everybody outside of the US knows what the interior means. It doesn't actually mean the inside. It means the outside. It means all of the hills and all of the mountains and all of the valleys and all of the trees. And yeah, that's me. It's a bit like Parks and Recreation. And if you spot very carefully, there's the odd Ron Swanson quote that does pop in every now and again. But my name is Sally Forth, and I will be your Secretary of the Interior for today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Becki.
Jolly good show, chaps. My name is George King. You might be wondering what's a member of the British aristocracy doing in the American cabinet. Well, my distant ancestor was George III, don't you know, who used to rule over this miserable, magnificent country. But I'm not bitter about that at all, no. And I'm the Secretary for Commerce.
Sorry, Becki, what was your character's name one more time?
George King.
George King. Perfect. That just leaves you, Dan.
Very
last.
good. Mr. President, it's me, Kaylee Lever, but you can call me Kale for short. I'm Secretary of Agriculture, as you know, and obviously this is really bothering me. Agriculture going missing. I'm so sorry, sir. I feel like this is on my watch, but it wasn't. So,
right. Well, no worries.
I'm sorry. How was it not on your watch? If
Brian,
it is,
calm down. Brian, calm down. No,
I just have your back.
Theoretically,
sir.
I'm actually in charge of farming rather than It'd be more the Secretary of the Interior's department than mine, to be honest.
Well, if it wasn't planted in the ground, I don't know if it was mine.
Well,
I imagine if it's in by the Rockefeller Center, it's been dug up.
Right, let's not cast any blame.
Let's put it
let's
up.
not cast any
Put
blame.
that
We
there.
need a solution. We need solutions.
Well, I should think the solution's jolly obvious. Buy another bloody tree.
Well, where's it come from originally? Because I don't think it's American, is it? Where's it
Quite
come
expensive. I think
Well, the
Norway,
thing-
I think Norway give us that as a gift.
The thing
It's
is,
bad form to get the residents to pay for it. We can't let the people of America pay for it. It'd come out of their taxes. That's absurd.
Well, the thing is, sir, we could use an American tree, much easier to get, but the international political thing about losing an international tree and asking for another one, a gift from another country, that could have widespread.
Do we not think the Norwegians might notice that it's not their tree? I'm just asking.
But
I
what
mean,
if
how
it's
many
like when
Norwegians
you-
are actually watching?
But what if it's like when you've got a kid and they've
Put
got
it
a
on
goldfish?
we could put a smaller tree on a very large box. How does that sound?
I mean,
How much
that
does the
might have
box
worked where you
cost?
came from, sir, but probably not now. Interesting you talked about that goldfish, George. I actually had a goldfish when I was younger that lived for 21 years. My parents said it was the longest living goldfish that ever existed.
Right,
And every
well,
time it seemed to like shrink and grow again every year or so, and it was wonderful.
Right, well, obviously I wasn't... Of course, old chap, I wasn't talking about your goldfish.
No,
of course not your goldfish.
It's
I'm
actually
just saying,
still in the tank in my. I can bring it in if you want.
I'm just saying some parents, obviously not your parents, but some parents choose to replace
I just
the
worried,
fish.
because I don't think my parents would replace a fish, would they?
Well, I
No,
don't know.
not yours.
Sort of sided a little bit here with Kale because, like, if you think about it, I have a broom that, like, I've had for years, and if you replace the handle and replace the brush, it's still the same broom, right? So if he's got the same goldfish and gold container,
right,
but they
sir.
just replace the goldfish.
No. It's the exact same goldfish, sir. The exact same, and its skin changes every couple of years. It gets speckled, and sometimes it's clear, but it's the exact same fish, sir.
Well, look,
That's what my mother
I'm
told
not
me,
gonna-
and on her grave, I believe
You know
it.
what? This reminds me of the great Brian Cox's when he was in the film Braveheart, and he said, "Mr. Brave, you need to make sure your heart is in it." And it doesn't sound like the heart is in your mother's fish or whatever you're talking about.
I don't quite know how
Look,
it's
I'm
got
going to
round to my
stop here
mother's
right
fish,
now.
but
I'm going to stop here right now. Now,
okay, yeah.
fishing is for sport. Okay, that's a sport thing.
It's
Like,
also for feeding
basically-
our population.
You'll see now,
Fishing-
fish meat is not. I don't find it very meaty. It's practically a vegetable. Now listen very carefully. Right, we do need to stop talking about fish because as lovely as fish are,
Mm.
you cannot stick tinsel on a fish.
That's not true. We did that one year, and that's when it changed.
Right, Sally. Well done. Getting us back on track. I like it.
If you put Christmas lights on a fish, you'll make it some groups. Just knocking on, they may start picketing.
What about a massive shark? I just watched a film recently. I think Brian Cox was in it. It had
I've had a little
Sharknado or something.
I've had a little look. We're not having any.
No, he wasn't
having any fish bullying in this country.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not very happy about chopping down another tree, but the tree doesn't actually come from Norway. You see, I've had a little look. There's a chap called Eric. He's a head gardener at the Rockefeller Centre, and he goes around the tri-state area and he looks for a unique tree. Now, this boy, he works hard to find that tree. I think he's going to know it's not his tree. Maybe.
That's exactly right. I actually had dinner with Eric last week, and we were talking about how exciting it was to have a homegrown, all-American, as American as apple pie tree up in the Rockefeller Center. So I don't know how apple pie and tree got together. It's probably the same way as fish.
Apple pie was invented by Agamemnon, who Brian Cox played in the 2004 Wolfgang Peterson film Troy. Very popular.
Are you sure you're not actually Brian Cox?
That is ludicrous. Why would they let an actor in the White House?
You look very similar.
People say that a lot, that I look similar. You can all fuck off. I have nothing to do with any of that.
So as you guys are arguing this point, the door to the Oval Office flings open, and someone carrying an iPad comes in. Goes, sir, you might want to see this. We've got some intelligence information.
Right. Yeah.
It shows you.
Bring it. Come on. Get closer.
Shows you the iPad, and it's so. Blavid Dane, a famous English illusionist known for his big over-the-top tricks, has been reportedly seen in New York with his new girlfriend, the Duchess of Birmingham. The Duchess has a sordid history of dating high-profile, well-connected people to the underground, and has been seen flaunting many extravagant gifts like a bleached tiger or the ruby of Kukundu. In a video interview they gave to Royalist magazine, she said, "I really want something special for Christmas that money can't buy." And he said, "Oh, don't worry. I'm going to get you something really huge and one of a kind." Our intelligence department has acquired photos of him visiting the area a bunch of times.
Oh, no,
we have the
So you're insinuating that this Blavid Dane has stolen the tree?
We have no evidence, sir, but he is known for his large illusions.
His tomfoolery.
Sir, he has a habit of sticking things to people. He keeps sticking things to him. This Blavid Dane.
Here's the thought, though. He always does illusions. Correct me if I am mistaken. Now, were it an illusion, I would guess it could be something along the lines of a very large mirror. Has anybody tried throwing anything at the point where the tree was?
It's a good idea. Actually, quite a strong idea. The only problem I'd have is that might damage the tree afterwards, and also a lot of tourists looking around the spot might get damaged by the glass shards.
That is true. Collateral damage is not very Christmassy.
With the current Nordic tree and everyone thinking it comes from Norway, we're already suffering an international crisis of political scale that we haven't seen in years, sir.
Well, what are Norway gonna do?
Well, that's a good question, sir. They're far away and it's very cold. I don't know much about Norway, except that Goldie came from there, which is why he lived so long.
Trebuchets or something, they'll throw trees at us. It's not.
I'm very sorry to interrupt, Mr. President, but I am going to say the tree is a Norwegian tree, but it's not from Norway. It's not from Norway. Right. It's from a tri-state area. Now, what we need to do is find the original tree, because let's face it, it's a big tree, and we don't want to lose another one.
Could we not find the second one that Eric liked? And
do we have
cut
any
that one
idea
down?
where this Blavid Dane is staying?
I think we need to get some sort of special services over there. Surely there's some of these people that go do these things.
He is an international star, and he's going out with the Duchess of Birmingham. Again, we're going to cause some kind of international stirring here if we send Secret Service round to question them. We could have the Crown on the phone. And we probably need to play it easy with Britain, wouldn't you say, George?
Well, here's the thing. You know, we do need to be a little bit careful if you're insinuating that a Brit has come over here and nicked a bloody massive tree and gone home. Because, you know, it might imply that we were all still a bit bitter about that whole thing where you all chucked the tea in the harbour.
We are. So.
Wait, you are? Wait, Kale, are you telling us that you're British?
No, I'm still bitter about it.
Oh, you're bitter about the...
You know, I'll tell you who was bitter.
I'm confused.
Wolverine from the movie X-Men 2 or X2, X-Men United. Wolverine! Brian Cox shouted at the wall of ice.
Can we concentrate
Sally,
on finding this
Sally,
Becki?
did we put this
That
VP
was
on the ticket?
uncanny,
Was that us?
Uncanny, Brian. Uncanny. Very well done.
You know, I'm just a fan. I'm a fan, you know. That's all I can be.
Right, okay, I've got a more practical suggestion. Coming back to my earlier point about the fish, right? So the reason why you thought it was the same fish is I assume
it was correction. It was
I'm
the
sorry.
same fish.
Why it was the same fish is presumably it has been living in the same goldfish bowl and relative accoutrement this entire time. Am I correct?
That is correct. Even though once my brother dropped the bowl and it smashed everywhere, the next day the same bowl and the same fish were there again.
That is a remarkable fish.
Yeah, my parents were amazing people.
But
Don't get me
this is my
wrong.
point.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of fishing. It relaxes me. It's like yoga, but you still get to kill something, which is lovely.
This sounds right up your street, Sally.
But I still don't think the fish is going to stand in place of a 65-foot tree.
I'm not
just saying.
suggesting Goldie. No. I think.
No.
So where
not
are we
the
going
fish.
with this fish thing?
So
Right?
I'm saying it is the accoutrement, is it not? That it leads us to believe it is the same fish. And so, if we were to find all of the decorations that we've ever put on the Rockefeller Center tree, I don't just mean 1 year's worth of decorations, oh no, I mean every single year's worth of decorations, all at once, every branch, every twig. How the bloody hell is Eric going to know it's not the
true.
same tree?
And we
He's
could
just going to
actually
see the
use-
decorations.
Well,
I
think
agree.
We have
Use-
one issue there. Is all the old decorations always just get thrown in the trash, you know, because we don't recycle.
That's right.
So as you guys are making
burn
this,
them.
as you guys are making this point, the door to the Oval Office flings open again.
Busy in here, sir.
Oh, there's another
President.
one.
Sir.
Just get over here. Come on. Get sit.
You might want to see this. And sorry, this is a member from the counter-terrorism group. They flick on the TV that's in the Oval Office, turn up the volume, and you see a video that looks like it's been recorded on any Nokia phone. Zing. A sketchy video from a preservation group called the Ecological Lovers of Various Evergreens.
Oh, I bloody hate these guys. You
Very
go on.
good.
Oh,
Very
it's not
good.
These guys again.
Thank you very much. They aren't exactly saying that they took the tree, but they're also not really saying that they didn't. But they are very happy that the monstrosity of electricity and the eyesore has been taken down, and they are condemning the Rockefeller family for putting up one of your fine contributors to your campaigns.
And you know what?
Although not an extremist or militant group, they've been incredibly disruptive to logging companies and towns in the areas they campaign, getting a massive following in the current world's rise in climate change, with celebrity supporters and possible ties to Anonymous. They won't be too hard to track down. They've been very active on social media. So if you wanted to go against them, though, they're rooted so deeply into the country that anyone ecologically minded supporters of yours probably not like it.
Right.
Oh,
thank
So
you,
we've
sir.
got two.
They come up, no, listen, Mr. President, this comes up all the time. It's this all the time.
Right.
They
Lay it on
really
me.
do
Lay it on me.
split the country. They split the country. They really do. It's a right pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie. So what they're object to is this electricity and all this sparkling and glorification of chopping down nature. Now, while I love my trees, okay, there are a bloody lot of them. I'm not going to lie. We don't miss one, but I don't want to cut down a
I do
second one.
agree.
Because that would be a nightmare. I'm just gonna say the letters and the emails are just gonna be through the roof, and they all come to my office. And quite frankly, if one of you buggers suggests cutting down a second tree, I am going to set my email to forward to your office. All right,
Mr. President, this Phil Werrell, who is the leader of this this team, he and I are arch enemies. I hate the man.
Right.
He
and do you think he would steal the tree? Because at the moment we're analysing this skirt chasing magician. So like,
as much as I
and
am,
now we've got Tree Huggers Anonymous up in our ass. I don't really
as
know what's going
as
on.
much as I hate the man, I don't think he has the wherewithal to do it. However, we are right. Sally is right. That does change things a little. If they're on it and making a big thing of this. If we were to use our own trees again, they would have a problem. Well, in fact, we could choose to not use a tree this year. We could make something of it. Maybe we get some local artist to create a tree.
I like that Spanksy bloke.
Exactly, and he is all American. That Banksy fella.
No, Spanksy.
Spanksy, that's right. That's right.
Does he work particularly with scaffolding, or is he just 2D dimensional?
Scaffolding would be great, you see, because it would be great up against
It's
Rockefeller
affordable,
Building.
isn't it?
It's affordable. We can just
Yes.
like George said, it's all about the accoutrement. Is that how you say it? I've never said it before. Sounds great.
As you guys are having this conversation, what a perfect segue. The door to the Oval Office flings open once more, and in full military garb is what probably looks like a general, and he's like, "Sir, Commander, Commander,
come in.
We have found the perfect 75-foot, 11-ton Norway spruce tree. However, it be rooted in a conservational national park. This area is part of a multi-faith, multinational, multi-ethnic eco-compound. Basically, whatever the reverse of international waters is. It's funded by a number of countries in the Paris Accords, which you recently rejoined. If you remove this, you would pretty much upset everybody.
But that's right out then, isn't it?
But, sir, I can send in the military. We can have the thing ripped out of the ground, driven in here in convoy, all the way across America. May upset a bit of traffic. But
have you got any subterfuge that you can use here, like steal the tree and cover of night?
Based on our recommendations, we can get it here within 10 hours, sir. Yeah. And then another 2 hours after that, we'll have it all restored. And also, because we planted this tree and we'll be bailing out Rockefeller, we can charge people to view the tree. Maybe that would help with our taxation and budget. Sir.
Right, yeah, thank you. Dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
A little trigger happy, sir.
I do agree. I did want something maybe a little bit more subtle. But have we got...
But it's all American. Subtle is not American,
Can we not get SEAL Team 6 in there to steal the tree?
May I have a moment of your time? I have there's a plan I have in mind.
Brian, lay it on me.
We send in our furry primate brothers, and they, one time I had a very smart primate, and he was sent into my facility. Or at least in the movie I was watching with Brian Cox, where he owned the facility of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and they all ran into the forest. It was beautiful. They all ran into the forest, and maybe we can get an army of.
Unfortunately,
Def was here.
Okay. So speaking of movies, I actually think bizarrely Brian Cox for once is onto something. So bear with me. What is the story of basically every successful Christmas movie ever made? They've got to save Christmas, right? Now, if we want to prevent an international incident, then this is what I think we do. We arrange to take the tree from the international conservation area, but then we put out a press release saying that every country has banded together in the spirit of saving Christmas. So if anybody objects to it after the press release, they look like they didn't want to save Christmas.
That sounds like a good plan, but worst case scenario, what if every country under that agreement denounces us?
I'm going to say right now that's probably what's going to happen. Also, if you're going to listen to me very carefully, I am going to tell you as well that tree is very, very old, and there are not many old things in America. So
we literally just chopped one of those down for Christmas. It's been stolen,
trees are the
Sally.
only thing that is old in America right now, really.
Well, that's what I'm telling you right now. I don't think it'll be good, and I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to end up with petitions, and
why don't we get
people placards?
David Dane
and they
to
say
steal.
They say some very nasty things on placards, you know. And these things end up all over the social medias.
I did see what they wrote about you last time, Sally. It wasn't nice. They should never have told you that.
There's only one thing.
Even if it was true, they should never have said that.
Getting David Dane into
he could
illusionize the tree away.
Maybe he could make it reappear to save Christmas. And if he doesn't, then he looks bad, and England looks bad, and America looks great.
You know, we make it look like a big publicity stunt.
Exactly.
We get the you know, the people will rally around us. American trick, magic trick.
We can have Mario Lopez start his performance just as Blavid Dane pulls the rug out and the tree appears and the lights turn on and it's all a big show. I'm liking this.
And we could put Blavid in a tank of water.
Where are we getting the tree again?
He has to get out.
Are we going to steal the tree?
No, he's got to find it now.
Not
He's got
having
to
the
find the tree.
Yes, no, that's Blavid Dane's problem. Yes, absolutely.
What we've done is shifted the responsibility. Yeah.
And maybe I'm not going to lie, but if Blavid Dane is this illusionist, can he not illusion a new tree? And then we don't have to touch the old tree because
that's what we're hoping. Yes,
if they find out, if someone finds out we stole this very old, very lovely tree,
we didn't steal it.
And what they're going to do is they're going to be a lot of nasty pictures about you, and there's only going to be one place they're going to put that tree in a picture of you, and I'm not going to say because it's where the sun.
I don't think he has the capacity for that.
I can see it right now. But there's not that many with a tree shoved up yet. Do you know what I mean?
I suggest
it's usually the other way around.
We do both, sir. We set up Blavid Dane to do this illusory tree. And at the same time, while we're bringing up this publicity, we send the military in to steal the tree. And then when it appears, Blavid gets the blame for stealing the tree.
I still think we should find out about these bloody ecological buggers and see if we can get our tree back. If they're the ones that have stolen it.
They didn't take responsibility.
I mean, for all we know, Magical Magician Man is actually the original thief.
And then
it's fine. It's early in the morning. You haven't had your whiskey yet. So.
The door.
I've had enough for both of us. I can handle it though. You see, I'm from Scotland.
The door flies open again to the Oval Office as another intern comes running in. Excuse me, sir. You might want to say this. And they
Hey Brandy, thanks by the way for last night. It was good pizza.
It's okay, boo, don't worry about it. And they
Brandy,
flip an iPad out.
What's this? No, wait, Brandy, what's this? What's this? You said you were me and me last night, and you said you couldn't make it. What's going on?
Right. That's right, sir. We had a late night meeting over some agricultural things about the tree, sir. Right. We had all-American pizza.
We had a couple of Clintons in our midst, haven't we?
We spoke about you, sir, all night.
You know, I did send you a message, but they have to change your numbers so many times because of security reasons. I just can't keep up.
You know, I did hear them shouting, Mr. President, all night.
Yeah, she can keep up, by the way, sir. Just
so it was. They were talking about
that's fair enough. I know, yeah, this quite...
Anyway, I'm kind of busy.
Yeah, sorry. Deliver your...
And, you know,
or whatever it's called.
Like, we're not on the clock or anything here, you know? So, so she flips you over an iPad. You have 2 countries have offered a replacement tree for free to us. But you can only accept one of these countries, and these countries are North and South Korea.
No,
brilliant.
Both have said they can get the tree to American soil within 6 hours and have it decorated by 9 hours by their specialist team.
Yes, sir. I think the bigger problem here is that our military are completely inadequate.
Yeah,
so we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time to do background checks on these teams. We just have to go on promises from politicians. And we all know how much those weigh.
I mean, if the Koreans can send a tree quicker than our military can get it from our own
tensions are very high in the DMZ for both these countries, and the powder keg just requires one little spark. They have found out that they have both offered you trees. Now, we have long-standing relationships with South Korea. We have trade agreements for their skilled youth for esports, products, fashion, and TV, etc. Right, but choosing North Korea over South Korea could make them rethink that. However, recently, because of your predecessor, you've had a breakthrough with the North Korean leadership and have started conversations for trade agreement to North Korea. McDonald's is practically salivating. If you choose South Korea, this could make them throw all of that away, and maybe they have nukes, maybe not. They will the countries will only start transit once you've made a decision of which country to do it. Okay, love you bitches, bye!
Thank you, Brandy.
See you, Brandy.
How many hours do we have left? How many hours is it left?
The problem here
is 6 hours.
No, that's 6 hours for them to deliver, but how long do we actually have?
I don't know, President, what time do you wake up in the morning normally?
I'm a really, really early waker. It's like
Good
5
sir, so
a.m.
you say, yeah.
You've gone either way.
So the incident happened at 3, and obviously they couldn't wait. So you guys were all briefed, and they could. So the president's up at 5. You know, you guys have got to figure this out.
I like my beauty sleep. They couldn't wake me
I'd say the chances are that it would, if the Americans would do it, it would make the ceremony run slower. If you were to accept the tree from the Koreans, they would have it up and ready for the TV show to start, for the whole spectacle to begin.
So we have a choice between, I mean, keep it on the deck. Don't keep it in this room, but like Kim Yo Jong, like the North Korean leader. So we'll move on from that.
We were with you, sir. We were just didn't know where you were going with it.
Nowhere.
May I?
Okay.
You get half of one tree and half of the other tree, and you stick them together. That's what you do.
I know that you might not be as familiar with the interior as I am, but that's not quite how trees always work. There is
We're going to throw it away.
We really do need to talk
We
about
invented
the
the
fact that the
gaffing
interior
tape,
means
didn't
the
we?
exterior. When did we decide that the interior meant the exterior? I mean,
the
who
interior,
came up with that?
The interior does not mean the inside; it means the outside.
That's exactly my point. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really want this job, but I didn't like people. Someone told me there was a lot of outdoors people. I mean, I don't dislike people, but I don't particularly like them. So I thought, okay, that's all right. I got an excuse to go to my cabin for quite a few times, so that's why I've taken a job. But I'm not going to get into the actual.
Brian was in a movie with
I don't know what's going
log
on.
cabin at one point. Was it?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, why don't you splinter away from the Earth, take over the planet Helgen, and then you'll have the plot of Killzone 2, which was a video game starring the amazing Brian Cox.
Does it involve any Christmas trees?
Sir, here's
Not a Christmas
my
tree.
worry.
So I agree.
What happens
with...
if we reject both?
Well,
if we don't take either, do we lose both?
Then we might have to steal a tree, which would alienate half of our voters. Which we might as well get into nuclear war with Korea then.
Now, slightly on a little tangent. Now, North Korea, I know we're building up a little friendship here, but if they decided to pull out at the last minute, would that leave us with egg on our face? I'm just saying. Would they like that? Is it a good thing?
It does seem.
I don't know. I mean,
Sally, that's extraordinarily astute of you. I was going to suggest that maybe we get South Korea to send their tree to North Korea, and North Korea to send their tree to South Korea, thus building up international diplomacy, or a war in Korea, and either way benefits us.
I'm
President.
for that one. We get Blavid Dane to steal both trees and blame it on each other, and then America has 2 trees.
I mean, the problem I have with that is if we instigate a proxy war in Korea, China are obviously going to support North Korea, and by extension, then probably Russia. So that's a sticky situation.
Do you know what? And
I would
China.
argue that World War III is not very Christmassy.
No.
Well,
Lots of lights? What do you mean?
I think it could
Big
happen.
light show?
Maybe we could postpone World War III until after Christmas, and then we wouldn't. That wouldn't be.
Although
a problem,
I think
right?
the plot of Die Hard 5 is meant to be around World War III at Christmas time, so we could just be mimicking art.
Out of interest, what is wrong with accepting both trees? Why can't we just have 2 trees? Because 2 trees is twice as good as 1 tree, and we're America. We do things twice as good as anybody else, and then we get to buy twice as many decorations, and that means we're spending more money in the U.S. economy at Christmas time.
Twice as many tourists.
So on the iPad, it says because both countries have found out that they're both willing to send you a tree, they won't send both. You have to pick
one or the other.
Yeah.
Going by your Die Hard 5 idea, could we not get
All American movie, sir?
Yeah, Woos Brillis.
Woos Brillis could go and negotiate for us.
He could. I'm sure he could negotiate both trees out of them.
So the doors fling open one more time.
Sir, you really need to get locks on these doors.
This is meant to be a private location. My God.
Nobody knocks, do they?
Your press secretary comes barreling through the door. Mr. President, all the news outlets want an answer from you, and I've scheduled a press conference in 30 minutes. You have to give them an answer.
30 minutes? My God. Why did you not come tell me? We've got like 10 hours until the tree lights up.
I've been trying, sir, but there's been so many people waiting to find the perfect moment to bust into your office.
Fuck
you know,
off.
I had to wait for my turn. So this is the part of executive decision where you are slid 5 folders are slid onto your desk for you, and a decision to be made of these 5. Number 1 will be cut down the tree in the conservation area, an American-made Norwegian tree. Number 2 will be accept the tree from either North or South Korea, but face the consequences. Option 3, blame this on Blavid Dane and hold him accountable. I mean, he's only dating an English royal. What's the worst thing that could happen? Blame the ecological lovers of various evergreens, who are the
Elvies.
Yeah, elves.
I know.
So
I know.
Ruined. Thanks. You're out. Leave the stream, please.
That's why their
Can you
leader
just give
was.
him a black screen?
That's why their leader was Phil Werrell. Jesus, keep up.
So you can blame elves and send in the counter-terrorism units to shut them down, or option 5, bun that tree off, bruv. It's only a damn tree. There's loads of them around.
Right. I'm partial to number 5. There are a lot of trees around. Nobody's going to notice one disappearing, are they? Except Eric, but fuck Eric. I didn't like that bloke anyway.
Oh, sir, his wife died last week. It was pretty tragic, so...
So you're partial to taking this tree from the conservation area, is that what you're saying?
No, that's option 1.
No.
All right, okay.
Yeah, this option 5 is just buying a tree from anywhere. I like that.
Okay.
But
You know, I've got another option.
Option 5 is just screw him. Don't have a tree. There's loads of them about. They don't need one.
See.
I've got a
We could
sixth
come up with
option.
our skanksy tree.
The sixth option is you get in a car and you just go driving. And there's the turnoff where you go one way and it takes you to prison for the 25th hour of your life. And the other way, you travel away and you make a life for yourself and you have wife and children and your life goes on and you're not killed in prison. And, you know, and it's a little bit like the movie 12th Hour featuring, 25th Hour featuring
I thought you were talking
legendary
about
Brian
the Matrix.
Cox.
I've got to be honest. You take the red
Brian
pill,
Cox
blue
wasn't in the
pill.
Matrix. That's ludicrous.
Mr. Vice President, with the greatest respect, I think you may need to go lie down for about a year.
Well, I'll
possibly
take my
the rest of
whiskey
this
with me if
president's
that's
term.
okay.
Lie down for a whole year. I mean, do I get food delivered?
You don't get that. I was suggesting to Mr. Vice President, sir, we need you. You are the president of the United States.
Right. Right. Yeah, sure.
I mean, I feel at the moment that getting some kind of artist representation of a tree means that there's we don't lose a few hundred years old of a tree, or any of the American history, because there's not much. Let's face it.
Yeah,
There's I think the toilet at my grandma's house is older than this country, to be fair. And then we got North and South Korea. We could avoid that war. We could avoid that.
No,
Sir, we could get the
So-
original
we
Constitution
do have an
build
issue.
it from that.
We do have an issue with not having a traditional tree. Is we eliminate every single traditional voter from the next election.
Sir, they're all going to be dead.
Everybody?
Can I ask, has anybody actually read the Constitution? A single person in the world, have they read the Constitution? One single person, even the people that wrote it, they all wrote it in little places and followed together.
There's something about right to bear arms, and there's something about
Can
right to free
we
speech.
lie about there being a way, down at the bottom somewhere, there's a subsection, that if a Christmas tree goes missing, the president's Christmas tree, Mario Lopez, that we just get the entire country to pay an extra £1, and they all pay $1, $1. I'm sorry, I'm from Scotland, remember? And then we, as my accent very clearly dictates.
I thought you said you weren't that Brian Cox.
Well, I'm American now, but I was from Scotland, so that's why my accent goes shifting between as an American and Scottish.
Movies? I'm confused.
No, this is exactly what both of us did. Both the Brian Cox from the Long Kiss Goodnight, Rushmore adaptation, Match Point, and The Ring, and myself, Brian Cox, the Vice President of the United States. So if we make everybody pay $1, then we'll have a new tree. And we just levy it against that.
Because we know the Americans
sounds
love
awfully
taxes.
like communism.
Everyone can afford $1.
But it's just taxes. And actually, we could raise them.
Like socialism, not communism.
No, it's taxes. It's the most capitalist thing there is.
No,
No, you just turn the screws a little. Everyone will be happy.
I think socialism might eliminate a lot of our voters. I mean, do you remember who was voted in last term?
It's true.
You know, you just put a "Make Christmas Great Again." Everybody contributes a dollar.
I like it.
And you make Christmas great again.
Fundraising.
You know, that's what we need to do. Anyone who doesn't believe in America, of course,
they
don't have to give their money.
They managed
They
to
don't have
raise
to give
funds
anything
for
to
that
us.
wall, didn't they? So like.
Yeah,
Correct
exactly.
me if I'm wrong, but wasn't part
Canadian
of the
wall.
cornerstone of that campaign making somebody else pay for it?
That's exactly right.
Well, we could do
That's
that,
the Koreans.
surely. Who could?
We could make the
Yeah,
Koreans
Americans
pay
pay
for
Dane
it.
for it. We
I'm
could make
gonna throw it
Beloved
out
Dane,
right
he's
now.
rich.
I'm gonna throw it out there. That sounds like a tax, and I think people are gonna kick off. I'm not gonna lie.
All we could actually do is
know-
raise Cyber Mondays. Instead of being 60% off,
but-
we could say it's 50% off and take the
Secretary,
10 off the
what's
top.
my
Does,
5
does
options
anybody
again?
know? Does anybody know that if this Duchess of Birmingham, if she's one of those popular ones, or is she like Fergie? Do you know what I mean?
George,
Do people care about Fergie?
Fergie was
They
popular
care
for a
about
couple of
Birmingham?
years. I remember.
Well, it's quite a good question. She did wear a terrible hat to Ascot last year. We don't really take much track with that sort of thing.
You know, also, Birmingham was in the TV show Peaky Blinders. Now, Brian Cox was not in Peaky Blinders. Now, he should have been. The shoe fits. Of course, he's loud and he shouts, but also he's got a soft centre, so he was perfect. But,
I can't help but think that maybe the American public, they quite like a prankster, you know. And I think if you'll say David Dane, David Dane, he's done it as a bit of a joke, then they'll find that quite, they'll be all right. Or you could alternatively tell them that the tree is so high tech this year, it's invisible.
Oh,
And I'm
Now
wondering
that
if
like
they would believe.
You know?
That they would believe.
To remind the president of the options, it's cut down the tree in the conservation area, accept the tree from North or South Korea, blame David Blaine on this and hold him accountable for it.
David Dane.
Sorry, David Dane. Blame elves and send in the counterterrorism unit, or just screw it, don't have a tree and tell the American people to suck it up. And today is tree lighting day, so it would need to be done.
I don't know. I think if you cut this tree in a conservation, I'm going to make an assertion here, because I believe this is the way that this thing goes. You are going to suck it from the ecological voters, and there's going to be a big deal about that.
They are on the up and up.
I am,
The
and I will
ecology
make
is more and more of an issue.
exactly. I'm also going to make another assertion that if you get a Korean tree versus an American tree, your American voters may not like that so much, especially if it triggers a war. you know. So I do feel
might
that
like
leaves
war.
us with two
not only
options,
leaves us
really.
with- well, yeah. I mean,
I'm a little against causing an international political event, sir.
So that's
And
two
we're
against
only
the
just-
Koreans.
Yeah, and also about blaming David Dane, sir. I think George would probably agree with me here. The English are suffering enough at the moment. They've got enough fools. They don't need another one.
Could be a bit of a sticky wicket.
Indeed.
I'm sorry,
I
what?
thought the phrase was sticky chicken.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What's a wicket?
White House
know,
aide,
sir.
excuse me,
I should know that, actually. I'm Australian.
Mr. Aide, is there an option that allows the people themselves to pay for their own tree? You know, we trick them into thinking it's in their own interests to double down. Everyone can spare a little bit, something to do with the taxes. I was thinking that's what these people are for, to give us
But where
money.
will we buy the tree from?
Well,
I suppose we
the
could
thing
go
is-
down to the local market and get the biggest one we can find.
The thing is, if we to answer your question, actor Brian Cox,
No, I'm not the actor, Brian Cox, but I can understand why you might have thought that.
of course, sir. So actually, if we pick one of the options that would allow us to put a tree in, if we take the one from the conservation area, we can actually then tax it. So we can, because it's us bailing out Rockefeller, we can actually charge people to go in and see it and take a photo next to it. Charge them $5 for a photo, $1 for entry. 125 million people come and see this tree every year. So that's
Fine.
the option that we could do.
Then send them the apes. Have we decided on the apes?
That's not what you should
No,
address
no,
the military as,
you
sir.
can't-
That's why
yeah.
you've gone down in the military's eyes.
Yeah, sorry, but the soldiers, they don't like to be referred to as apes anymore.
What about
Under 065 of the code, they should now be referred
And
to
if
as
we
the Force.
if we accept the
What
truth
about
from
an
South Korea-
amnesiac spy? You know, a female. No one would expect it. Similar to the Long Kiss Goodnight, Brian Cox.
Able to
In a minor role, a
transport
minor but an
an
important role, nonetheless.
11 ton tree on her own, sir.
Fine, partner her with the person we got who flew in the plane with Rachel McAdams in the film Red Eye. Why?
We've talked enough about 1 to 4. What's the consequences of picking 5?
The
that the one with
Americans
no
will
I
hate
don't.
you.
I don't think we've talked about
Sir.
number 4 much. You know, blaming the.
We're not going to blame Britain.
Oh, blame,
Oh, we
no,
don't-
blaming
no,
the
no,
elves.
no,
Blaming
no.
the elves.
blaming
Blaming
the
the
elves.
elves.
Oh, blaming the
We're going to lose
ecological
half our
people.
We did
voters
say.
there.
Now look,
Well,
painting
your
them as
email.
terrorists is not going to be hard at Christmas if they have stolen a Christmas tree. I'm just
that's
saying.
true. Even
They are-
some of the ecological people were not going to be
I know.
particularly happy.
The only
Think
thing
of
we
your inbox, though, Sally. If they hate you now, imagine how much they'll hate you
Oh, do
after
you know
that.
what?
Well, it's fine
I'm
because
gonna say-
we'll have the terrorist counter-terrorist organisation on them. So like they're not going to be many
tree,
emails they'll be
what-
running.
What I think we have to say here is that the tree has been carefully chosen by Eric. Okay, it's not, and he travels the entire tri-state area. This tree is not going to be magically planted and grow back to life again. You know, this is not how it works when you cut down a tree. I mean, I've not been in the Department of Interior for very long, but I know this much. All right. Now
I'll
I
take
I can
think.
your
agree with that,
I'll
the
take your
Secretary of
expertise
Agriculture.
for
That's
it.
how trees work.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll take
So
your
I
expertise
wonder,
for it.
I
yeah.
wonder if we need to
As-
find out if I made this counter-terrorism squad, are they able to go in and are they able to find out if the tree is there? Because it may be an unsubstantiated claim. You know, they may not be telling the truth, but I don't think that cutting down another tree is a way to go about it, because they might just steal that one too. You know,
I hate to tell
I'm
you.
just throwing it out there.
I hate to tell you, Sally, but there's a lot of trees getting cut down as we speak right
Not
now.
in this multinational, multi-faith area. That's my only issue, you see.
The door flies open once more.
Fucking hell! Can you knock?
Excuse me, sir. I'm here for makeup. I'm going to just. You can carry on. You can carry on while
Right,
you're talking.
yeah,
I'm just
right.
gonna
Come on.
put a little bit up.
Yeah.
You've got 10 minutes to your press conference.
Right. Okay. So I've got to
Ah,
decide
fellow
10
Scott.
minutes.
Where are you from, fellow Scott?
I am up near Edinburgh.
Ah, yes, Dundee myself. Alongside, you know, I was actually born in the house next to the actor Brian Cox. So it's an amazing story. I'll tell you.
Oh,
one day.
where he is. That
Aye,
seems pretty interesting, but I'm just got to carry on here.
Yeah. Do provide your
don't-
opinion if
I-
you can. Makeup. We're having a struggle here.
Right,
No,
sir.
I don't think these elves, all right, even if they are claiming they took this tree, now that's
No,
not
they're
good,
claiming
is
they
it?
didn't. They claimed that they enjoyed the fact that it was gone, but they're not claiming
thought they took it.
responsibility. No,
I mean, can we not
I
just
thought we
pin
could
it
take
on them?
that's
even
what
if they
Sally's
said that they
suggesting,
didn't.
sir.
Even if
That's what-
because even if they didn't take it, we can just say, oh yeah, they're lying. That's what
It would make my life
counter-terrorism on them.
significantly easier, sir, without Phil Werrell, my arch enemy in the world, sir. Agriculture would
I don't know. I heard
find
he
it much
was,
easier.
I heard he was doing a film about two snooker players getting really.
So many throwbacks,
That's a
sir. My
deep
head's
cut.
hurting.
What a fantastic podcast that is.
Have we completely
Dash sloop.
off the idea of coming up with a fake tree or a different kind of tree? Is
The,
that
the,
is
the
also on the
Spanksy,
table?
sir. We could do the
I have not
Spanksy.
been provided that option, so I assume that our staff are incapable of creating a fake tree or even buying
Disgusting,
one.
sir. I think we should fire them all.
I know.
The more
I
Sally's
suppose
No,
it's
mentioned
very
it, the
short
more
time
cost too much
Not
money.
you, Makeup. I like you, Makeup. You're a good guy.
Hey, thank you, sir.
The elite squad costs too much money, too much taxpayer dollars that we need. Don't send them in. These guys are on, 400K a year, each one of them. That's ridiculous.
I agree with Sally
And
now. The more I
bonuses.
think about it, blaming it on the elves is, I mean, even the poetry of it at Christmas, sir.
No. There's no money in it. It's
There's
madness.
lots of money in it, sir. We can shut
think
down
there's loads of
terrorism. We could
elves.
get an extra budget for our military.
Elves?
by
doesn't
having a
interest me.
successful terrorism bust.
Plus,
Also, you could
Plus, we
sell
can-
T-shirts when people come to the event and there's no tree that says like,
The
"We
elves
won't
stole
let them
Christmas."
take Christmas."
Yes, the
yes,
elves
right.
stole Christmas. I love it.
Right, I think we're running out of time, and I'm going to make my decision.
Okay,
I
so
mean, you've still got a few more minutes though before you have to
Oh,
go
have we?
live.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's
Yeah,
just,
don't worry about it. I've only
you've made me-
just started your contouring, so.
Oh, sorry.
mean,
I
if
look
you-
so great already that I just didn't notice. I thought we were
so
done.
you always look great. You always look great.
You've still got, I don't
Okay.
know, approximately like 6 minutes or something like that. But
Right,
you know, if you
right.
always wanted to go up there early, the photographers are going to say no.
You know, one time there was a man that he went around San Francisco, and he went around and he murdered a bunch of people. This was a long time ago in the 70s. He was called the Zodiac Killer, and it was made into a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Robert Downey Jr. and made by David Fincher. It had the wonderful actor Brian Cox in it.
These
I
don't
can't.
even have any correlation to what we're saying anymore.
No,
It's- it's,
let him go on.
I'm
let him
saying-
go on.
Okay.
I think
I'm
he's coming
saying-
up with a point finally after.
This-
Still no tree. Still no tree.
That's exactly right, Sally. We still don't have a tree.
We can take
And no tickets,
Korean
George.
director from South Korea,
We could have
one
that
of the
guy
ones
that
that
did
made Parasite.
Yeah.
Or maybe the one about the train.
Nice.
And then we can get him to recreate a movie about all of this incident, and everyone will go and see it in the whole world.
Starring
and we'll
Bruce
get all
Willis.
Bruce Willis, of course. And then we make all the revenue back off of this production that we make. And
Oh,
in
good.
it,
Yes.
as a
For
starring
second there, I
role-
thought we weren't going to make any money.
oh no, there's always money to be made. Don't
This is
worry,
America,
George. Film
we
industry.
always make money.
We always make
I
money.
still wonder
Unless
what the
you're
voters are
of
going to
Gods
worry
and
about
Monsters.
when Mario Lopez turns up and
Oh
there's
God, Mario Lopez! We forgot Mario Lopez, sir.
he's still there to light some stuff, and there's a lot
This
of
is a
celebrities
disaster.
And the new
and
part
stuff
in the
going
film
on.
is
Now-
it better to light it or to be in a film where he lights it?
Why
he was a
don't we
great
just Why don't we
surgeon.
just secretly kill Mario Lopez? Problem solved.
Oh no, it's a
He's a
national
military
treasure.
person.
Not
He's a
the
national
only one,
treasure,
though.
sir.
Not
It's not
cricket.
gonna work.
He-
Not cricket.
Really? No, I
But I like where your head's at.
I mean, is there any way of getting David Dane to come to the Rockefeller Center and is it possible
Illusioning up.
Yeah, we
an
black
exit.
bag him.
that he could we could have
the
one of
CIA.
those big we could
I
set
mean, I
up one of
think
those
it'd be
big
easier to. Oh, I'm
we
not
could
sure.
set one of those big frames with lots of curtains around it, and then he says bada bing, and then it comes down. There's no trees.
Yeah.
Is that what he
Is
says?
that-
Bada bing.
That's his
The
famous
magician's
catchphrase.
famous
That's his
catchphrase?
famous
Yeah,
catchphrase.
yeah.
Yeah.
David
Bada bing.
Dings, yeah, that's right. He
Yeah,
just
okay.
goes, bada bing. That's something like in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
New York. I've heard they
Have
say
you not
that.
seen his shows, Brian? You've not seen his shows?
Well, no.
Amazing.
Oh, are they films on the silver screen?
To be honest, I don't have a
No?
silver screen in my cabin, so I haven't seen it. But hey,
We'll get one built for you, Sally. There's enough people to do that.
I don't really want to.
Um,
Anyway,
I'm
My only issue
almost
with-
done here, sir. I
yeah,
think you've
my
probably
only
got
issue with
about
blaming
a
the elves,
minute, I
sir.
think.
All right,
If
thanks.
we
Oh,
blame the
wait, I've
elves,
got
so we still
I've
don't
got
have a tree.
hair. Here, can you just get that?
And no problem.
It's a strong monobrow. You should go with it, sir. The voters like. Oh, never mind. It's gone.
Right. Okay. So, I think I'm gonna go with blaming
Maybe-
the elves.
It's a good,
Option
strong,
number
sir.
4.
Good choice, sir. There is literally nothing that can go wrong with that
No,
option.
yeah, I've weighed all the options. That has the least amount of wrongness.
so
Bit
what
disappointed
are
about
you
the lack of
going to
money.
what are you going to do? Are you going to
Oh, there'll be
s-
plenty of
send
money
in a
once we take
counter-terrorist?
them out, George.
Yes,
It'll be
we're going to
great.
send in the counter terrorists. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare them public enemy number 1. Get the FBI on them. If they move over abroad, we'll get the CIA on them, and they'll just disappear.
Right.
Sir,
I won't
may
say
I-
that publicly. I'll
May I
just say,
personally
I'll declare
request-
them public enemy number 1.
May I personally request that you lock up Phil Wirrell forever?
And
Yeah.
erase his memory,
He's
like
a
we
bounty. I think we should.
Born Supremacy,
I
featuring.
think we should put in a
Brian
very
Cox.
small bounty of like $10,000 on Phil Warrell's head. It's
Thank you, sir.
only a small amount, but like he's the main instigator.
So the doors this time gently open as your press secretary comes back and says,
He finally knocked. Christ, man.
Mr. President, it is time for you to address the public and give us your option as to what you're going to do.
Right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Tell me
So
where to go.
you are led.
Same place. Actually, same place, isn't it? Same place as usual. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Always, sir.
Cheers, mate.
So you are led. You are led down the hall. The door opens, and you are standing at the plinth, ready to address national and international news as to what the decision you will make.
Right. The American people. Right. Some fuckers have stolen our tree. Right down at Rockefeller Center. And we've found out who it is. Don't worry. Now, the elves took it. You know those. Yeah, the ecological people. Yeah, elves took the entire tree, and they said they didn't. They're lying. Lies. All lies. They definitely took the tree, and that was our best tree. I mean, everybody comes to see that tree. Everybody from all over the world comes to see their tree. It's our best tree. And now the elves have taken it. They've stolen Christmas. The elves have stolen Christmas. All right? So now I'm declaring the elves, as of this point, public enemy number 1. And we're going to get every resource available to us to capture them and put them to justice. All right? All right? Right, well, yeah, cheers, mates. Cheers, guys. And, yeah, I'll see you next time. All right, yeah, cheers, bye.
Thank you very much.
No
well
questions,
done.
no questions.
Well done, guys. You completed the Rockefeller Christmas tree disaster.
At what
Executive
cost?
decision.
At what cost?
At what cost? I will
Our
tell you
dignity.
what cost. You have so the way, obviously, with the point
That's
scoring,
fine.
each agenda will come through. So conservation goes down.
God damn it. Okay.
Development 0. Military goes double up. Voter satisfaction goes up. Health stays 0. Centrism goes up. Balancing budget and international prestige stay at 0. And tax revenue goes up. Dan, as the Secretary of Agriculture, where you could pick your own agenda, what did you end up aligning with?
With military.
With
Because
military.
I wanted more military control over our logging, so that we could go in and do logging and fracking, so that the
So
people...
you got double up on your points, which is good
I
work.
was angling for North Korea, but I thought that was too obvious.
That was I think between that one and actually choosing South Korea was the one that had the most positives.
So
Ironically.
Dingler runs back into the room and says, right, I'm no longer president. Stuff you all. I'll see you later. Runs back.
Okay, well, at that crazy bombshell, even though this is a pre-recorded episode, we'll take a quick break. I guess you could just pause it if you were watching at home anyway. But let's take a break anyway, and then we'll get back to you very soon.
Merry Christmas.
So it has been a year since the Christmas debacle. In fact, it's been a year and 6 months. So then we'll get back into campaigning season. So we can pick a second president for this next executive decision. Who would like to run in the campaign race? You have to say things so that the people in the podcast can hear you.
Wait,
So
that
what-
was not audio friendly at all.
Both myself and Becki just raised our hands.
Yeah.
That's because we don't know when our accents are supposed to come in and characters are supposed to come in. I don't know if it's like. Do you want to introduce
I would introduce yourself as like going for campaign.
Yeah, so you basically to set the scene, the plinths have been rolled out and the presidential candidates are on stage. They will be given a minute of their own time to sway the public to be able to vote for them. As we've had Becki and Sean go up, let's flip a coin. Heads is Becki, tails is Sean. Tails. So, Sean, introduce your character, and then when you're ready, I'll start the clock and you can have your minute of presidential debate.
I'm ready.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am John American, and I am here to be your next President of Americans of United States of Americans.
Your
And
time, your 1 minute starts now.
Oh, hello, Americans. I didn't see you there. I am John Americans, and I'm just like you. I am Americans just like you. Do you like monies? I like monies. What else do you like? I also like that thing. I am here, whatever you want, you get it. Because this is great motherland of Americans, and you get whatever you want. Anything, you name it, I make it happen. You want rabbit out of hat? It's silly. You should ask for monies, but I get you rabbit out of hat. It can happen. I can make it happen. Very easy. I know many peoples who can get a rabbit out of hat. If you want monies, good. You may have to wait 10 to 12 weeks, but I get you monies. Where am I from? Nobody knows. That is why it cannot be racist. Is it Transylvania? Is it Russia? Don't tell me. It was Russia, but don't tell anyone.
Time
I'm
is
American, just like you.
Excellent. Perfect. So that was wonderful.
Amazing.
The second candidate may now introduce themselves.
Bloody hell, I don't know how to follow that. Right, my name is George King. And as you all know, my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was King George III, who used to rule over this miserable, magnificent country. Now, for a long time, my family have been standing by and saying nothing. We didn't
Time
say
has started now.
My fellow Americans, as you can tell, I'm clearly one of you. For some time now, the British have had an excellent system of governance, by which we do our best to elect people, but in reality, we rely upon an upper echelon of individuals who just sort of buy and get born their way into various roles. And so, by dint of this, I would argue that it's about time we tried a similar system over here. My blood is as blue as anyone's, and surely that qualifies me for a nice top job, such as president. It's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Now, I know you've had a nice long time without the British telling you what to do, but I think we can all argue that after that fiasco at the Rockefeller Centre hasn't been going very well. So, why don't we try a little bit of monarchy again? Have a Brit at the top. Go on, you know you want to.
That's perfectly on the minute. So well
That was
done.
wonderful.
Okay, so they've spent months campaigning, picketing, what's it like, kissing babies and shaking hands. Got that one the right way around. So now it is down to the rest of the country, which is made up of the demographics of Brad, Dan, and Christine, to cast your votes for your presidents. Do you take George? It is a
At least that's what I thought they
landslide.
said.
It is a landslide victory for John American, completely
Oof.
taking over the Electoral College. And
there was no voter fraud.
There was no
My-
xenophobia.
My voters all decided via Facebook, and that was completely and utterly
The algorithm decided for them.
exactly. It was fair and unbiased.
Our good friends at Cambridge Analytica helped us out with that one. I know.
Exactly.
heard of that.
Exactly.
So George,
It's good because it's got English in it.
George King, as the conceding runner of the presidency, you get to pick your position in the cabinet, which John American has given you.
Yes.
You have vice president offered to you automatically, but if you choose to defer, you could pick another position.
Ooh, I quite fancy being the vice president. It does sound terribly important, doesn't it?
Perfect. Okay. George King, you are locked in at vice president with John American securing the presidency. For the rest of the constituency and the cabinet, what would you like to do and go? You don't have to stick with the same name or position that you had before. You're free to move around under this new administration.
And Sally Forth still doesn't particularly like people, and still doesn't particularly like being in cabinets, but she'll be in a cabinet so she can stick as Secretary for the Interior, which is for the exterior, which makes no sense, but basically she's going to stay where she is.
The only cabinet she likes is the one she makes in her cabins.
Fair enough, yeah.
Then for
Nice.
the rest
Very
of the
nice.
team, for the rest of the cabinet, thank you very much.
But I'm quite
Kale, go on. You go first. No, you go first. No, honestly, it's fine. It's fine.
okay,
You go. Honestly, yeah.
Right. Thank you. So I'm quite new to the cabinet. Hello, everybody. My name is Arno Wilson, and I am your new Attorney General. So please bear
Fair.
with me.
Strong.
But yeah, we'll get through this. It's not a problem.
After the wonderful decision with the elves and the president, I have been nominated as chief of staff, which is an all-American role, and has given me a desk with Goldie is able to stay with me. My mom brought him down. Apparently, he has survived at home, and he now lives pride of place on the desk just outside the Oval Office.
Is he mounted on a little frame?
No,
or is
he's
he
in
not?
the same bowl. The same bowl.
Right, okay.
And the same goldfish.
Have you ever tried eat a goldfish?
My sister once ate Goldie, but the very next day, there he was in his bowl again.
This sounds like a
And-
magical goldfish.
I think maybe it's
he is
ghost.
honestly the oldest goldfish. I'm gonna get the Guinness Book of Records. That was awful. I just had a problem because Goldie. I'm just thinking of Goldie gets me emotional. Definitely the oldest goldfish in the world, for sure.
I think it would be a good idea if you called the Guinness Book of Records. That way,
You must have a
they
hotline to
can
them.
tell
Guinness
you
is,
what's been going on with your goldfish. That way, they can tell you. That would be good.
they
I
would
think.
confirm. They would confirm that it is 35 years old, the oldest goldfish in the world.
Okay, if we are already all settled in, I will start the timer and start your second scenario crisis of executive decision. News just in. Over Kazakhstan, an American special anti-nautical torpedo aircraft has crash landed. They are claiming on the ground that it is unlawfully there. Now, as you know, Kazakhstan is a crumbling former satellite state of the Soviet Union, which ceased being a blip on American radars when they surrendered their last warhead about 10 years ago. But now they're back in the headline with a really grainy picture of what could be the SANTA aircraft. Despite numerous calls to the Air Force, no one has given the White House a straight answer on the subject. Do they know if the Kazakhstanis have the Santa or not? The reply is, we'll get back to you. The fervor over this possible non-event has already reached a dull roar. International news is already picking it up, and events are rapidly taking on the form of their own. More and more fantasy or reality, who knows?
Okay, cabinets, I want 100,000%. Go.
You can only have 100%. That's it, all right?
Don't make me
100,000%?
make you sit outside of the rooms.
Oh gosh. Okay. So anyway, may I ask, is this aircraft manned? Are there people in it? Are there pilots and so on, or is it one of these funky remote control with your Xbox kind of remote control? What is it? Who knows?
Drones. You're talking about the drones, yes?
Yeah, well, you get some of these airplanes, they've got all the remote controls. You get all the boys with their Xboxes, there's 13-year-olds flying them, you know.
Yeah,
yes, bloody good question. Yes. Yes, people or not people.
Now, I do think that this is quite expensive if we're going to try and get this plane out of a different country. And is this law, this is Kazakhstan's law, right? This is not our law. So I don't see how this is our problem, really.
Well, it depends if Americans was inside the plane. Also, why were we sending planes over former Russian states?
Sir, we're not allowed to divulge that to you anymore. You have asked that question a few times, and unfortunately, it has been redacted. However, I believe there must have been an American soldier in there, an American pilot. I think if he's in foreign lands and in danger, we should get him back, sir.
It's true. The people won't like the fact that we've left a man behind. I mean, it's one of our mottos in the military, isn't it? Not to leave any man behind.
No man left behind, quite
That's right. That's right.
Can we pretend that we got him back and get somebody who looks like him? You know, like the world famous Saddam Hussein.
He
had another one that looked like him.
Well, he might have a twin. We should look into it whether he has a twin.
Okay, now you all know that I'll normally advocate for the swapping of things such as goldfish and Christmas trees, but I think an American pilot is a rather different issue.
Anyway,
not your goldfish, other goldfish.
Other goldfish, okay.
Only other goldfish.
But surely they all act and look the same. They all say, we're approaching the halfway point now, sir. They just get somebody who can do that.
That's a very good impression. Have you been listening to their radio tapes? By any chance?
You're not accusing me of being a spy, are you? And learning the American ways to infiltrate?
Nothing of the sort, sir. Nothing of the sort. Just being a conscientious commander-in-chief and listening to radio.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
So do we know, was this thing shot down? Or did it just crash?
Good question.
That's another question.
Bloody good question.
And what I also want to know is, this SANTA aircraft, is it
Designation
expensive?
SL31GH, I believe.
Okay,
what sort of packages was it containing as well? The packages might be really important on this SANTA.
You think they might have been pirate DVDs? Big package of lots of pirate DVDs? Pitch Perfect 2?
Sir,
for example, we've got some questions, haven't we? I think we need somebody to come in.
Sir, let me remind you that the SANTA aircraft stands for Special Anti-Nautical Torpedo Aircraft.
The packages sound quite dangerous then. We can't really let that get into Soviet hands, don't you think?
Yes, that would be bad. Also, those planes cost an awful lot, sir.
So, us Americans, we are making planes with anti-torpedo? It flies, and then what? The anti-submarine, it fires down.
What it does is not important, especially when it comes to Russian submarines. What we are asking, sir, is whether we can get it out of Kazakhstan.
And maybe if we take it from Kazakhstan, move it slightly this way, or maybe even that way, move it into Russia, then they can give it back to us. Pick it up, give it back to us.
You mean make it Russia's problem, sir?
Russia. I don't know if you looked at map, but Russia very big.
I'm pretty sure.
I agree with you in principle, Mr. President, but I don't think they're going to give it back if it goes into their country.
I don't
think
they're
very loving people.
Back. If we kicked a football over the fence, I don't think we don't have a good relationship.
Yeah, the footballer would be missed in transit.
Maybe they pop it before they give it back, but they still give it back. They might maybe pop it.
Well, we need to find out what our relationship is with Kazakhstan. Like, they haven't told us yet whether it is there or not. They say it's not. Am I right?
We've got that grainy picture of it.
Yeah, I know, but like, I think we've got slightly better chance of getting it back off them than we do off Russia. Just saying.
We need black box to let us know why it went down, where it went down, a human on board or not.
What about sending in special forces into there and getting it back that way?
How special are your forces?
Recently, Sally, we
Very
have
special?
We have actually had an increase in relations with Russia for some reason in the last 6 months or so.
Russia's
Russia's
been very
dealings with
good.
us has been much better.
They helped me get into position, John
Hey,
American president. They're very good.
I'm
They
sorry,
are
they
friends.
are.
I'm
haven't
sorry.
heard
Can you
about
back
this.
up a second there, sir?
Yeah, I talk about it all the time openly in the news and nobody indicts me. It's
Oh dear.
We all thought you were joking, sir.
yeah, little
It's
joke
ironic.
sometimes, little real sometimes, you know.
Very, very funny, Mr.
truth.
President. Very
Sir,
funny.
your name
I
is
like it.
John American. There is no way you are anything but American.
Of
sir.
course. You cut me, I bleed the American flag. All out in my veins. It's a medical
Wait,
condition.
That's actually
we've got
illegal,
more. We've got another telegram coming in.
So you flip on the TV and Wolf Blitzer is flapping his gums about some American pilot they've got on the ground in Kazakhstan. Now, the story is that he flew the jet from Turkey and was trying to land it in Kazakhstan. And they're flashing a picture of some corn-fed schoolboy from Nebraska named Lieutenant Claus. A snapshot of what looks like he's pulled out of high school. There's no video footage of anything, just that grainy cell phone picture. Air Force Command has not said anything yet either.
Well,
We know he little cherub from
where is the
America.
Department of Defense in this?
Yeah, why are they not? Get them on the phone, sir. We need to be talking to.
Okay, somebody bring me my mobile cellular device.
Sir, there's one literally on the desk in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
We don't use mobile phones because they're easily trackable. We've
Who am
told
I
you
calling
this
again?
multiple times over the last 6 months.
Is it
it's already on
President
Twitter.
Putin?
Look at this.
Who am I talking to? RAF?
You need to
That's,
call
the
the
wrong
military.
country.
You need to call the Defense Department.
Yes. Defense Department of Defensings. Hello? Hello?
Get an accent there.
Old.
Do your John F. Kennedy.
Actually,
have you got what?
I
He hasn't got one.
know
I
if
just
do
want
have
to
a
see if he
Kennedy.
can do it.
Hang on, let's see. What was he like again?
It's going to put me off, though, if you do it. but
No, I can't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I'm
do
gonna go.
you, dirty rat. Just do one of those accents.
Hey, because we're walking here. No, I was just gonna go. Hello, sir. This is the Secretary of Defense.
Hello, Secretary of Defenses. Are you well?
I'm good, sir. How are you, Mr. American?
You know, could be better.
Can I help you, son?
What am I supposed to say to
Sir,
Secretary
you need to
of
ask him about the
Defenses?
plane. We're on the plane now, sir.
So we had a plane went down next to glorious nation of Russia, in Kazakhstan. Phew, horrible nation, Kazakhstan.
I believe it's pronounced Kyrgyzstan. Kazakhstan we're still pretty good with, but Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah,
Make
yeah,
sure we don't upset
Kazakhstan.
any, international prestige.
Kazakhstan, yeah, sure. So, anyways, we want to know: does it have any bombs on it? Is that what we want to know? Any secret packages on it, like from GTA 3? What's that?
What's actually going on? What pilot was on the
We
plane?
want to know if there was
Can you
pilot
use more
on it, like
detail?
little cherub from Illinois, and we want
Nebraska.
to know Nebraska. All the same, we want to know why it's there. Why fly over Kazakhstan?
Sir,
Please give
we're
me
trying
these
to get-
answers at your earliest convenience.
Of course, sir. Thank you very much. I'm the Secretary of Defense. I'm trying to get in contact with our Flight Master General. He is not answering either. We do know that Lieutenant Claus was part of this program to fly the Santa, and it has got a payload, but that's purely for defensive purposes. It's not an offensive payload.
Can you explain payload in great detail and give me maybe blueprints and other things?
Mr.
There
course,
President,
probably
could
enough
you put
time on
this
the phone. You
speaker?
put this. Yeah, thank
Could you put
yeah.
this on speakerphone, please,
Yeah,
Mr. President?
Mr. Secretary of Defense I'm going to put you on with all my cabinets. Goodbye.
Oh,
and then
you
I
hung up, sir.
Put it.
Oh.
Oh no! Press 0, then star, and then 9.
as you put the phone down. Boom, 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 boom.
Hello, Mr. President. I mean, Mr. President here. I am the president. Hello.
Hello, John. Is this you?
Maybe.
It is. Hello, John. It is I, the president of Russia.
Ah, hello, Mr. Current President. Are you Putin or other president of Russia?
I'm Putin.
Oh, Putin. Putin. Can I
President
put you
Putin.
on?
I want to know something. I want to know something from you. Is it true that Kazakhstan has plane? Because I'm not going to lie to you, John. The fact that they got a Mark III plane, not looking good.
Who told you it was Mark
Who's
III?
on the phone? Mr. President, who is on the phone?
Nobody.
on the
It's wrong
speaker,
number.
sir.
Domino's Pizza.
Or can you get them to deliver?
Listen,
Can you deliver pizza?
Seblacht. Okay, listen. We need to know if you have plane. If you have no plane, this is bad. If they have plane, it also bad. I need
Can
answer
we
from
give
you.
plane to you and
We
then
are
you
ready.
give plane back to us?
We have no problem. We have numerous skirmish with them and we win every time. Every time, easy.
So
you
you
want
could
skirmish
get our
now?
plane
I
back?
get you skirmish.
Cabinet, do you think that you want skirmish? I'll give you skirmish. Do you
5
think
minutes.
that Putin can get us plane back? What do you think, Cabinet?
Putin?
So wait, is he
You're on the
talking about?
phone. You're
Listen,
on the
I
phone
need
with-
to I need to go to Sona thing, you know what they hit you with branch and stuff. I'll call you back in half an hour,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, like
I need an
Bonzo.
answer by then.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, say blah.
Goodbye.
So
Putin has
So
said
the-
he can get us
Domino's
plane
pizza.
back.
That wasn't
So,
Domino's pizza.
and
That
just
was
before
another joke.
the
I tell you
president
joke.
the president said, I will email you secure email of 4 options for you to choose from. And you then bring, you got mail. Pops up and
Sir, we've told you to use the secure server, your own private
No, I
email.
just use President John American at
Can't believe you're
yahoo.com.
still using AOL at this point.
Yeah. And 56k modem, safest modem around.
AOL.ru, sir. Why is it AOL.ru?
No reason. Just cheaper that way, you know?
Okay.
it's like, how do you like? Are you there? I said,
I said, yes, I am here.
so your 4 options are back the Russians. Yeah, yes, Prime Minister. They've got it there.
Option 1, please.
We'll keep it. Option 2 is neutrality. Well, it certainly sounds bad that they've got an airship, but you know, nothing as bad is happening now. 3, it's a Russians problem. Yeah, we lost the jet. They've got it now, so suck it up, or wave the big stick, zip it. It's Uncle Sam. He'll come and get you if you don't shut your mouth. So the Russian Prime Minister in 30 minutes will need one of those answers.
I will
Sir,
hear
may-
from cabinet now.
Sir, may I suggest that if we go all out and help the Russians, it may look, I mean, I don't believe it myself, but some people are saying that you may be a Russian plant. Now, it cannot be true because your name is American. There is no way.
Of course.
And
yeah.
I believe that if we
At
were
most, I
to
would be
say...
a Russian person. Russian plant is silly. What am I
Correct.
going to be?
I'm just gonna say as
House
well,
plant,
I'm just a
garden
little bit
plant.
worried that if you do get in with the Russians, they might call you a communist. Now I'm you know.
They might also
Nothing
think
wrong
you're a
with
Russian
communism.
communist, sir.
Give
Yeah.
to everybody, everything.
You're not, sir, you're not a Russian
Russian
communist.
Communists
are
Communist
you?
wrote the
Think
best
the
films
same
in
way.
Hollywood.
The American people don't think the same way. I'm sorry, Mr. President, and you might alienate a lot of voters by doing it that way. I do think that we should go for a neutral point of view and just cut our losses and not get involved.
Neutral.
May I
I'm
say
sorry, your
so?
accent's very thick. Can you please repeat what you said? I cannot understand.
It's okay. I'll do that. So I think we should go for a neutral point of view because I don't think the American people are going to appreciate us helping the Russian people. And I also think that any help we give to Kazakhstan is going to affect our current relationship with Russia negatively. So I'd rather we just stayed neutral and stay out of the current situation over there.
What does everybody else think about neutral option?
I mean, relatively speaking, it's got to be good for trade, right? I mean, if we're sticking our nose in and we're kind of getting into somebody's business, then they're not exactly going to buy anything from us afterwards, are they? So I think sometimes neutrality is the most lucrative option.
I think that there could be a little bit of a problem if you decide to, if you decide to go with the Russians. And also, I think there's a problem if you go against the Russians. Because if you go in waving a big stick and saying, I'm Uncle Sam here, that's my plane, and you can keep your nose out, then they do have weapons. And, weapons can be a bit of a problem in terms of the interior. We don't want anything getting fired at our angle. We don't.
What
get them...
sort of
I hate
level
to
of
agree.
weapon they have? Of destruction
Sir,
do they do?
they
Mass
probably-
destruction or just some destruction?
Well, one of the problems with Russia is they're quite secretive, They don't really tell you what they got in their
Oh.
cupboards.
Sometimes they're very truthful peoples.
I
Yes,
do think that they've got enough weapons that
I think
any
I-
sort of confrontation is out of the question.
perhaps what we could do is go a little bit down the middle of the line, stay neutral. I'm a bit of a fan of that until we find out a little bit more information.
Sir,
We can always
I hate
say
to
to
say
him,
it, but
"Can I discover a bit?"
I kind of agree with Sally, and we know what happened the last time that happened, Sally.
But
I would
know what they're
say
talking about.
backing the Russians is no way, and Big Stick is no way, sir. But
Okay.
may I advocate against neutrality? The American people like action. They like to be seen to make action, and the world likes to see us make action. Now, I'm not saying we go in hardcore. I'm just saying we say to the Russians, maybe it did crash, but maybe now it's your problem.
Well,
You see what I mean? We take
Maybe if
action.
we go for that, it is neutral, but then we also say Russians is your problem. Maybe go and clean it up. Let us know what you find. Maybe
Exactly.
maybe
And
they
then
give
we
us
have the
more information.
opportunity to build up relationships with them, but also the world looks like Americans take action, and I think that will do well around the world. We'll get good voters.
mean,
Voters love that kind of
There's,
thing.
Okay.
there's a potential problem there, but that we give the Russian nation these Nautilus torpedoes, right? It's,
I can
I
see
think
that's a
a
I
big
have
issue
to
if they
agree.
don't give them back.
I have to agree. If they
It's not
decide
in
we'll
Russian
have those,
space.
They're not
but,
Russian space now, but if they go in and they try and take this ship and we say, oh yeah, we take action, then they're gonna take these
Sir, maybe
missiles,
we could
these-
get
these
the
torpedoes.
Kazakhstans on the phone then, and see if we could talk to them.
Yes, I
Do
hear
they
they
have-
have
do they
very
have
interesting accents. I'll put them on speakerphone. Everybody can pitch in. You are good cabinets. I promote you all. Same rank, same monies, but you promoted anyways. In my eyes, you are one level up. So, Secretary, I would like to get Kazakhstan on the phones, please.
So it actually takes us perfectly to our next time break, where the State Department, as you pick up the phone, the State Department someone from the State Department comes bursting through the door. Again,
Sir, we
no-
had a problem
no.
with these doors before with the last president. You probably need to get them fixed. Especially you seem so secretive about some of your phone calls. You probably don't want.
get a little bit of a,
walking in on
a
them,
sign.
sir.
There could be a little sign saying, "Please knock," before entering.
Yeah, I
little
would suggest
thing
not
like that.
in Russian though, sir. I know you're learning it on Duolingo, but probably English.
Russian is beautiful language. You put it everywhere.
Sir, you won't find me
One day
disagreeing.
everybody speak Russian. Everybody know that.
Say one word in Russian.
Vladivostok.
Привет.
Touche. Touche.
So the door flies open and someone from the State Department they manage to find a Kazakhstani ambassador who looks both frightened and ecstatic at the same time. Had never been in the White House before.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Hello, I am the Kazakhstani ambassador.
Sir, have you been in France recently?
No, this is what the Kazakhstani sound like. It has come to our attention that by this point in the game, that half of the cast haven't actually realized the scenario is set in the fictional nation of Kazakhstan, not the real nation of Kazakhstan. They'll get there eventually, but in our opinion, they're a fictional nation. We're glad none of them actually are in real politics. People think What? That sounds like Johnny American.
Johnny American sounds all American. He's our all American
Oh.
hero.
Oh,
Literally
putain,
in
of
the
course
name.
he does.
I was in
it's
the
why
wars.
everybody
I
voted
fought
for him.
against many peoples and killed many peoples for my country.
We haven't had a war in. Never mind. Never mind.
Very cold. The war, very cold.
So,
Mr. Ambassador, please sit down. My cabinet were just discussing about this incident. Can you fill us in a little more, please? Your country being very naughty, not talking to us.
well, all I know is the plane, it went down near the border of Russia. That is it. I cannot speak to president. He's
Is that
on his
still
way.
in your? Is it still in your country? Is it still there, or is it the Russians starting to move in, or something like that?
I mean, nothing yet. It is, how do you say, on the ground.
And I cannot but think that it's quite important that you guys realize that's American property. You know, it would be great. You know, if you had a plane that fell in our country, I'm sure we'd tell you, and we'd also let you know that you could have it
Well,
back.
we would follow the rules of finders keepers if it falls in this country. Finders keepers, losers, we all know is the reapers.
Well, no.
But
Mr. President, let's
know
keep
if that's
that on the
helpful.
down low. It was lost in transit. That was in the past. It's lost in transit.
Yeah.
No one ever
You
found it.
see,
maybe if it got lost, yes, it's true. We keep that quiet. Kazakhstan plane, you're right. If planes stop in the air over America, it engine brake, and then it fall into Kazakhstan, it brake in America. Okay? Not American built plane brake. Must be built from somewhere else. China probably, let's be honest. They build it cheap, and then it fall
believe
out
it
of the
had
sky.
Parts
And
from
then-
Iceland, sir. It
Yeah,
had
yeah.
Icelandic parts in it.
either way,
very good
I
idea.
think it's
Listen,
quite
all of this
important.
infighting, it sounds so.
I think
I'm
it's-
gonna go take a shit. Come tell me, give me an option when I come back.
Excuse me, Ambassador, Monsieur Ambassador, just before you go, it'd be very good if you could perhaps just have a little chat with your president when you're able to get to. If you can't get hold of him, maybe you can try and get hold of his brother or his sister or someone, someone who knows where he is, and just let him
Yeah, the
know
first
that
gentleman.
it's not an offensive plane. It's a defensive plane, and within these days, it'd be quite good to have some of that defense back. Thank you very much.
Also, one thing before you go, you have one of our pilots.
Oh my.
Oh, he's a
that
very
we'd
nice
really
boy.
we'd really like him back. He comes
From
Nebraska.
Kansas.
No,
I mean,
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Nebraska, I mean, yes.
He's,
Nebraska.
he's very missed. It'd be great to have him back. He's a lovely, lovely boy. So, yeah, thank you very much.
And
You know what? You give us payload, you give us man back, you keep playing. It's okay. Just metal and bits of gears and
sir,
things.
That's- I
that's
think it's the
probably
whole
not. He's
thing. I think the whole-
sorry. He's just speaking out loud. That's not what he means.
I brainstorm,
You
you
do
know,
look
no
like
bad
you need-
ideas.
the toilets are just down on the left, sir.
Thank you. And so you guys have a couple of options here as well. How you want to get the Kazakhstani ambassador to what you want to say to him. You can be polite and be like, yeah, we've seen the news. It's a shame. They can be like, oh, we understand that you found the plane. Thanks so much. We'll take that one back now. Or you can say, we're not saying you have our plane, but if you do, we want it back. And then lastly, give him my bloody plane, you idiot! Nah!
Cabinet, what do you think? I think play hardball with the Kazakhstans because we know they get their bottoms kicked by the Russians. So they're a weak nation.
My preferred option is number 2. We tell him that honesty is key here. We tell him we know that they have the plane and that they have to return said plane.
I think a level of confidence. This is how you kind of deal with these people. You just say, all right, this is Kazakhstan. They're not used to being at the table. So we could lead this in a very strong way, and we can just say, well, if there's any other country, they just tell us that it was our plane, and they just give us back because we're the country that gave them cheers and friends. I'm sure they all enjoyed those. And,
Yes, I think that's very appropriate. I think friends is a fair exchange for a military plane.
I think
that
it's
sounds
just,
like
Treat it as matter of fact.
Can we give
We'll
them
just
maybe Ross from
take our
Friends?
plane and our pilot back. You
Nobody
know, it
will
was a lovely
miss.
time. But if we could have him back, that'd be great. Thanks. We all know.
Okay.
Sir,
I think it's a good idea.
I agree with Sally. I find myself doing that more and more. Sorry. Anyway, I agree with Sally, but I think here is a political opportunity to allow Kazakhstan to be to be players on the big thing without suffering any kind of embarrassment with the Russians on their doorstep, sir. As you well know, if we were to embarrass them, that would give Russia the opportunity to attack, and that might cause problems. Well, no, sir. That would also make it look like you were supporting Russia, which at the moment is probably not good for your voting figures.
But what if I tell everybody what Russia are good now?
Well, we can get there at some point, sir, and we should probably have that
process.
It's probably not going to go well.
I've been carefully seeding it into the narrative.
So here's the thing, sir. If you say to the Kazakhstani ambassador, we're not saying you have our plane, but if it were to turn back up, we could look after you, and the Russians would never know it was in your airspace. They would never be able to have a reason to attack you, sir. It would be, we'd get our plane back, and the Kazakhstanis could walk away a little bit bigger in the scale and a seat at the table.
I like that plan. Very diplomatic.
There's a wasp in
Bloody
here.
Sir, you're not allowed to use that phone in here.
Hornets
We've
flying
said-
around.
Sir, that
Almost
is
left
your
the mobile
private phone. I'll
It's
answer
fine.
it.
It's
Hello?
fine. Oh.
Hello there.
Здравствуйте.
Привет.
Sir, I think it's for you, and you really shouldn't have this in here.
Hello?
Hello there, sir. This is the Secretary of Defense again.
Oh, hello, Mr. Defense.
I'd like to tell you that we managed to get answers from the Air Force. Yes, Lieutenant Claus was on board the ship. Unfortunately, if you turn on your TV, somebody got to his mother and has interviewed her already. It's not looking good. She's asking for his return. However, we have received one more image that's being sent over to you now. You've got mail.
Wait, our Secretary of Defense uses AOL as well?
Why is his at AOL.ru?
Are you there,
I want to
Mr.
know.
Defense?
I wanted to know. Are you receiving my messages? And then that's why I went for it.
I told him it was best way to send his messages. He
so
also
you
used
have a
AskJeeves,
look
but
at-
that's his own decision.
You have a look at this image, and it looks very similar to the image you saw earlier of Lieutenant Claus. They don't look like any harm has come to them. They look like they're not shackled, not in a jail cell. But again, it's very terrible, grainy cell phone footage. So you can roughly make an assumption that it's them. But that's what you can do.
Now look, everybody, he about to come back from toilet, and then we have to decide how we play it. Do we say,
I think I've been
oh, maybe
slightly-
playing, maybe
I think
not?
I've been convinced more to a good friend Kale's side, and I think that we should go for the more. Oh well, we don't really know if you've got the plane or not, but
It's a
like,
veiled threat,
well,
sir,
do you
veiled
favour
threat.
us for favours?
Exactly.
I mean,
What do we offer them, though?
I still think
We
it's a
don't
confident
offer
thing,
them
isn't it?
anything.
Just
We
isn't it
offer.
just-
The implication is if that they don't have it and they don't give it back, we'll have to go in there and find it, sir.
Okay.
Or if we're telling the Russians it's their problem, we're gonna tell them the Russians are gonna have to go in and find it.
Okay, play Russians.
Well, I think
versus
there's a little. I think I'm starting to agree with this one. I think if you
Sally.
say to them,
Get the rooms. That's what Americans say.
but I think if you say, if you need to tell us if you have the plane, if you tell us that you do not have the plane, then I'm afraid the Russians will come and look, because we won't look. We won't look if you say you haven't got the plane. We'll trust you this time, but the Russians
Okay.
may come knocking, and they
We're
will
not
not.
saying you have it. But if it
But
were
if
to
you-
turn up on our doorstep, this whole
Okay.
problem
This is
would go away.
option number 3, otherwise known as wink wink, I believe. You know.
Okay.
see what goes
Winks, winks. Okay, I shall do that if he comes back. I play it cool, and you can help me if I do it the wrong way.
Well, sir, you're all American. You get
Don't
it right
worry,
first
don't
time.
worry.
every time.
We all believe in you, Mr. President.
Thank you. I'm very believable.
Seriously, whose bloody phone is that?
Ah, it is
Why do you
mobile
have
phone
two
from
phones?
Matrix.
Why do you have two phones, sir?
Oh, like Brian Cox from the Mission Impossible
we fired
Supremacy
him,
gave
sir,
it to me.
I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up. Beep. Hello.
Hello, this is the Russian Prime Minister. My birching thing took much shorter time than I originally anticipated.
That's very good. I tell you what, I'm going to pass you over to Mr. President, and I'm going to put this.
Who is it?
I'll pass it. You bear with me.
No.
This,
Who
all
is
these
it?
accents are mucking with my Welsh.
It's really
Yeah, I know,
hard.
it's so hard, isn't it?
really hard. It's I'm just going to cover up the microphone. It's the Russian.
What does that sound like, Hand?
You know,
Hello, Hand?
I don't know. I'm just doing
Hello,
this.
Jill? Jill, it's you.
It's,
Or is it Ivy?
Then
it's Mr. Tootin.
tell him I'm not here.
Sir, you have to answer the phone.
I think we
No.
have to talk.
It's
to
your
What's
him.
job.
wonderful is sometimes you press the red button and go away.
No, sir, you can't.
But
You have
I
a
think-
responsibility now.
I don't have to. I go to maybe I go to for a walk. I go golf. Nobody disturb me.
Sir,
there
just to check, you do know
That's
that
like-
Russia still exists when you're not looking at it, right?
All right. I tell you what.
Out of sight, out of mind.
you want me
That's
to-
not how that works.
That's a
Just
phrase,
pass
You
sir.
on.
say.
What does vice president do? He's there when president doesn't want to be there. I look out window. Vice president take call.
Okay.
Bear with
Okay,
me,
fine.
bear
I'll
with me.
pick up the bloody phone. Okay, fine,
Don't
fine,
do
fine,
it
fine,
for
fine,
me.
fine, 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 fine,
go
fine, fine. Hello.
Wait, you know Hand no more. What happened to Hand?
This is George King, old boy. What's wrong? What's happening?
Ah, yes, George King, the one that we sent all of those emails to.
Oh, the emails with the images. I thought we weren't going to talk about those again.
Yes, of course. Emails like, hello, Russian president, I need you to send money so that I can unlock my bank account.
Yes, with the zip file. Yes, I know the bloody one. Yes, thank you.
You
Yes,
really
of
need
co-
to
of
talk
course.
about private email usage in the White House. Am I
so
the only one that
confused right now.
uses
What's
it?
going on?
I
I don't know. There was some kind of technology rollout, and we were all told to move on to other email addresses, and everything's gone a bit wrong.
Oh,
Anyway,
I missed it. God damn it! I'll have to do
What
that
is
when
he
I get
asking
back home.
for? What is he saying?
so sorry, but getting back to the point, it's not about those emails again, is it?
No, this is about, well, first off, you not ask how good the birch bark was.
Okay. Terribly sorry. How was it?
It was cold, like Russia.
Good.
Now,
Excellent.
back to business.
Talking about
This
weather in Russia again.
Santa ship you talk about.
Yes.
What is your decision?
Tell him I'll call him back.
No, we need a bloody decision,
Sir.
sir. You need
Tell
to
him we need
choose
to talk.
something.
We were gonna
We
tell
need
them
to
it's
talk to Kazakhstan.
sir.
Somebody go into toilet, get him out.
Sir, we were gonna tell them it was Russia's problem, sir.
No, I thought we were gonna stay neutral with
Yeah,
Russia, and
I-
we were gonna
Yes.
make it. We were gonna talk to Kazakhstan.
I thought,
That was the
I
threat to
thought that was the-
Kyrgyzstan, wasn't
Ask
it?
that
him
was-
what does
The
he
threat
think
was to
happened to Ukraine.
Kazakhstan, and we were gonna be
Is
neutral
he
with
on
Russia.
hold? Is he on hold?
He's
No,
talking,
I'm listening
he's,
to all
he's-
things you
we
say.
can't-
Whisper, he
He's talking
cannot
to
hear, he
shoulder.
whisper.
He's talking to shoulder right now.
Hello, shoulder.
Sorry, totally ignore all of that. It was just shoulder interfering. Nothing
Oh,
to do with anything. No,
Shoulder,
no.
always talking,
I
always
know,
wanting,
so much
always,
to say.
always
So much
saying
to
things
say.
you
Ask
shouldn't
him what
do.
he
Yes.
thinks. Say, what does he think happened to the plane?
What do you think happened to
Very good.
Santa?
This is good.
Well, I do not know. I was drinking vodka and I forget. And then advisor come to me in the morning and say, "Oh, excuse me, sir, there is something wrong. The ship is going to crash." And I was like, "Okay, where is the ship? Show me ship. What kind of ship? Is it airship? Is it land ship? Is it sea ship? Which kind of ship?
Sally,
Is it
I thought
French
we were
ship?
going.
Is it a Russian ship?"
Oh God.
This was not enough information, so I call my president friend, American, for answer, and then I take birch bath.
Okay.
Sally, I
so
thought we were going to show that Americans take action. That was the point, to gain voters.
Oh, I thought we were.
We weren't going to stay
neutral.
neutral. We were
Are
going to
you
show
sure?
that we took action, but without actually using the big stick.
I'll
Hello,
be fair if
Shoulders.
we
Is
stay
you again?
neutral.
Shoulder,
okay.
you taking?
Okay. Here's what I think we're going to. Here's what I think we're going to do for the time being. So
Okay.
we're absolutely on top of it. I mean, obviously, being America, we're all men of action, are we not?
Very good. Some women
but
also.
here's the thing:
less
in order
so,
for
though.
the action to take place, we do just need to have a little more conversation and then a little more action. That's generally the order of things.
That's exactly
So,
how Elvis said it, sir. Well done.
Yes. In his
Well-
famous film Ocean's 11.
I
Love
am
that
nothing
film.
if not all American, you know. So what I'm trying to say here is that we are absolutely on top of it, but right at this present moment in time, I can't tell you precisely what I am on top of.
Okay.
Oh God, this is like talking about those emails again.
Ask him ask him the name of his
Sir, hang
advisor.
up.
What
Sir,
is the
hang
name of his
up.
advisor?
Everyone
Quick,
just-
ask.
What's the name of your advisor, sir?
Oh, which one? I have advisor for whiskey, advisor for vodka,
One about plane.
advisor
One
for
that
sleep.
advised him about
For the
plane.
plane.
Oh God.
Good job.
Okay. Meeting adjourned. Mr. President, go and do the press conference, please.
Thank
And
you, everybody. You've been very helpful making John American and America a great nation, because before, maybe I thought we were second best under Russia. No reason. Now I think, because we told Russia to go and do one, now I think we are above Russia, little bit. Maybe they say on same level. But because of you, we are now above Russia tiny bit. So thank you, everyone. You were promoted 10 times, demoted 5 times. So you are only promoted 5 times. Goodbye.
The nation awaits your word, Mr. President.
Great citizens of motherland of Americans. At 12:55 yesterday, planes went down. Very sad. In Kazakhstan. Little cherub pilot from Alabama. He very lovely, very good pilot. Kazakhstan, very nice. You know, they have French accents. Oh my God. We get pilot back. We're going to get pilot back. Got to get my grammar right. We're going to get pilot back. It's all good. And Russia, in the process, we're told, get out of here, Russia. We hate you. You're the worst. You were very cold during the war. And in all the movies, you're evil. Always evil in the movies. Always spies everywhere. You cannot trust anyone with a Russian accent. It's true. It's true. I know this. I am American, Joe American. So, where was I? So, Russia will stay out of Kazakhstan because we told them with our big phalluses, not you get out of here, go. So they, okay. Kazakhstan, okay. We're going to get plane back with payload of secret missiles and things. Or not secret missiles. I didn't mean to say that.
That's
Just
probably
joke.
enough for now. Thank you.
Just a little joke.
Umbrella.
No further questions.
Ultimately, make America good again. We're all going to make America very good again.
Sir, your golf course is booked for 5 minutes now.
Oh, yes.
Brilliant. No
I'm
further
going
questions.
to go golf
no further
now.
questions.
Goodbye.
Congratulations, team. Well done. So to levy your choices, you chose option 3 with the Kazakhstanis. Polite
Big
but
Richard
firm.
energy.
You were nice. The ambassador bows out and says, "Yeah, I'll get the Prime Minister on the phone. The American people are impressed with the footage, the way you've spun this, and that you're going to get Joe American back. In terms of the way that works, everything stays neutral except voter satisfaction. So if you had voter satisfaction,
There's like a nobody wins, but if you had voter
yeah,
satisfaction,
I do.
I got 1 point.
Chief of staff.
Hey,
That's what it was.
okay.
So as John American makes his way back to the Oval Office,
I'm so sorry. I just played Metro Exodus, by the way. I just finished Metro Exodus, which if anyone's ever played that, it's like I just did all the DLCs. It's a Russian-made game about a Russian novel with Russian accents. You know, English voices, Russian accents. So it's saturated into my brain. So if there was any insult, it was because I was channeling the actors from Metro Exodus.
John American comes back, and within minutes, you are constantly getting calls from Belgium, France, the UK, Spain, Italy, China, Norway, Japan, everywhere. The message is, fucking keep it in your pants, mate. This is Russia. Yeah?
Oh no, I thought they'd be like, yes,
like
to
it.
Russia.
Violence won't solve any problem, and you just waving a big stick was maybe not the best way to do it.
Well, not waving a big stick.
He didn't wave a big stick. He went for 3, but
Big
he
Richard.
did actually escalate.
Waved to Big Richard.
So, centrism went up, if you had that as one of your
Hey.
thingies. Military went down, voter satisfaction went down,
Oh, back
and
back.
international prestige went double down. And everything else stayed neutral with that
The president
one.
went off piste there. I feel like
But
told him 3, and he went 6. He didn't even go 4
He
or
tried
5.
to go for 3, you know, he just didn't, he wasn't very good at it. He didn't know how to do it. He'd never really exhibited it before, and it was like that explosion of like the bullied nerd. It suddenly came out.
Hey, it was great.
so that takes us to our end of our lovely lengthy one shot that we have done for you for playing Executive Decision.
Thank
I
you.
think it was. I think it was really good. You guys as actors were fantastic, playing your parts and interweaving ridiculous storylines through everything, which I think is what makes this game fun. I've said to Sean before, what I'd love to do is like go hiking and play this game like one big walk and talk from the West Wing. Actually, you're walking like on a clock while doing it, and you've got to barge past each other and
That'd
actually
be great.
do it.
That would be
Proper
fun.
walking talk.
Although I'm kind of glad that it didn't escalate to that with Kale and Sally, so we're all good.
I was kind of
Cabin in the
hoping
woods.
that like the post-credit scene would be Kale and Sally, you know, and it's snowing outside the cabin, and then she opens the door.
And he's there, just there with the
redwood
massive
or
Nordic
whatever.
fur. Yeah, just over his shoulder.
11-ton.
The firewood.
Norway spruce has just been chopped up and used for firewood.
Or they build a cabin together halfway between the Alaska cabin and the
Yeah.
cabin. As
They
well.
build their neutral cabin for their rendezvous. Yeah.
So I think what we're gonna start doing is we're gonna start doing one shots. When we've got some breaks and when we've got some time that we'll, because next year hopefully we're allowed to go on holiday, we'll be able to sort of take those in. So this
Ryan's
was
talking about when he. Has booked
Yeah, I've got shitloads of
When
holidays.
he goes on his planned holidays, yeah, we'll all be staying at home.
None of us else will.
But
Some of us can.
this is obviously like a Passover episode for us. We have got our next episode on the 4th of January, which will be another live stream. Johnny will be taking the helm again. But let us know what you'd like to do next for another one shot. Whether you have any suggestions for us, whether we do something with dice, whether we do something without. You can find all of our socials, Blood and Song and Blood Song Party on Twitter, and anything else.
We've been looking into Vaesen. Someone has one of those books. We've been looking into.
Johnny has that.
Right, we've been looking into we played some Fiasco games. Fiasco's not quite as easy to do remotely, but like there's that possibility. There's loads of tabletop games. There's loads of, like you're saying, Ryan, paperless. diceless even. There's so many of these types of games. So if you've got a favorite and you want to see us do it, I was in a tent once with 3 other guys and I played a Lasers and Feelings. That was good. None of them had any experience with
It was only a
RPG.
2-person tent.
It was only a 2-person tent.
Awesome.
4 of us in a 2-person tent. It was very intimate. They fought a lot over their Lasers and Feelings. But yeah, give us a shout in the comments. Let us know what you'd like us to tackle, and if you have anyone in mind to DM it, because this is a good opportunity. Say someone wants a break or someone's busy, whoever's free, and maybe even some guests can come on board. We can just drop them into the game.
And I know it's after Christmas, but if anyone does want the Rockefeller Christmas tree that I came up with and sort of fit into the world of executive decision, let us know on the socials and we'll find a way of getting that to you.
Nice
Christine
idea, though.
Christine is in an episode of Slash Dupe.
Yes.
Um,
That
Yes,
comes
just
out on what, the
happened.
8th of January? Is
8th
that
of
right?
Jan. So shortly after this, you'll have an episode of Slash Dupe coming out with the wonderful Christine. We won't give away what the title is for that, but it was a very interesting episode.
It
Wasn't it?
was.
So some of us do a podcast called Slash Dupe. Everybody that's on Blood and Song has been on it and has done spectacularally well.
Got
Some
really
better
deep
than
into
others.
this whole
Yeah.
live but not live.
Yeah.
No, right?
To question
Oh, it
what
is.
day it is.
We're pre-recording this and you're still counting us in and not saying 2 or 1 so
It's true.
Professional to the end. Professional
yeah,
to
yeah.
the end.
that's what we are. We are a
Becki,
professional
I
outfit.
think you will really like Christine's episode because it's right up your street.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
excited now.
particularly
What
Christine's
what
idea.
genre?
To catch up. I still need to catch up on what's
Exactly.
there.
It was
So-
really fun. If anybody,
We won't reveal that, Brad, that you're a terrible
No.
friend and you haven't been catching up with Slash Dupe. You listened up to your episode, then as soon as it's finished, you're like,
No,
I'm
I
done.
listened to the episode after that as well. Not that I can remember it, unfortunately.
if any listeners of you don't know what Slash Dupe is, just do like a quick couple of sentences just to tell them what it is, or
Yeah, so Ryan, Dan, and myself, we co-host a film pitching podcast. But the twist of it is that everybody around the table is given the same title. So you can hear at least sort of 3 or 4 different ideas, depending on if I chip in as well, all completely different based on the same title. So you can really get so many different genres, so many different sort of, people's imaginations can sort of pull out of anywhere. And we also have Ryan is often, although we're opening up to our guests as well, Ryan is often the person called the dupe, which means that he gets the title at the start of the episode, same as everybody else. So he has that hour or so of the episode to sort of cobble together his idea and make sure it doesn't cross over with everybody else's on the fly. So we've got that sort of thing. And every 6 episodes we have an adjudicator episode. So they will vote. We have an adjudicator. We have the Pearsons have just come in from Pearson Casting, and they adjudicated on the last 6 episodes. And that was really exciting to have people from the casting sort of sphere. So with our adjudicators, we had a video game creator and an editor and a filmmaker. And then next, we're hoping to get some film critics in, have a film criticism website. So that'll be interesting to sort of see other avenues of film and creativity, which sort of crosses over with Blood and Song very much.
Thank you very much. So with that, we're going to bring the final episode of Blood and Song of 2020. We've got 4 days left of this crazy year. Once this comes out, so stay safe over New Year's Eve, and we will see all of you in 2021. And as Johnny always says, may the Great Mother guide you.